Press that a bit early. Give me a sec. There we go. Might as well start that. There we go. I didn't have the camera plugged in. That was a fucking mistake, wasn't it? You absolute animals. Coffee. Coke Zero. Walker's cheese and onion double crunch. That's what I'm working with right here. Happy Saturday. Bom sábado. Bom sábado, amigos. Bem-vindo to podcast The Last Rites. Eu muito feliz aqui. Agora, eu beber do café, Coca-Cola, chips. Depois, eu beber cerveja. Eu tenho Brooklyn Pilsner. Depois, eu ver música no labar. The artist, Johnny Brown, Ruby J. Don't know how to say that in Portuguese. You just say their names, don't you? Kelly is in the house. Breathing hard. Ladies need coke. Yeah, they do. They always come running when you've got cocaine. There was. I'm having a nice little coffee here. When I woke up this morning, I was fucked up. It just hit me last night. It must have been the cold air. Because after I finished up here, I went out for 2 beers and was fucked up. But I did have a long phone call when I got back, which is good, with my old buddy Sam. So I've got some news for you guys. Just wait for the second time I'm with you. Start with the toothbrush in your mouth. It's a good thing to have in your mouth, I think. I say, and glad you saw the notifications, Chrissy. I was going to tag you. But yeah, so I had a good conversation, a drunk conversation with my mate Sam last night. We're probably going to have a podcast. So we used to have one called Gentle Arrogance, right? And on Thursday after Odam, the plan is we're going to do a special Gentle Arrogance live stream for an hour, catch up. We haven't done it in a year or so more. But we're going to keep that thing, but we're only going to do it every few months. It's not going to be like a regular thing. But the bigger discussion was something that we talked about 6 months ago, and I sent him we went over this fucking list of rules that I sent him because we always have trouble scheduling it. We will be starting a movie podcast, but it's going to be pre-recorded, and we're going to put like 8 or 10 in the can before we start putting them out. That'll be me and my buddy Sam Vickery, and we get on. We have good arguments about movies. We might reenact some scenes and that kind of stuff as well. So it's going to be a little bit different. And then if people like it, we'll come on and do, I don't know, a live stream every 6 weeks or so like that, just to catch up with people. Because we'll probably get some different people listening to that as well. But there we go. We're going to have some kind of movie podcast coming. It won't appear on your radars till at least spring, I wouldn't think, because like I said, we're going to pre-record a lot just to avoid scheduling issues that we've had before. It's a huge bone of contention in our relationship. But I think we've drunkenly, we got there. Oh, Grumpy Mama, good morning to you. Yeah, I'm just revving up the old cold YouTube engine today. It's annoying you can't raid on YouTube, isn't it? That would be nice if you could do that. Cheers, well, you're peeing. There we go. Hey, welcome in, kids. I'm got a cup of coffee. The gig that I'm going to watch, it starts at 6, so I need to get to the venue by 5:30, I think, and so I need to figure out during the course of this. I might have to do some quick googling to figure out when I'm going to leave. I might have to get a tram because there's a tram thing right outside, and it'll be quicker to get up there, right? That's going to be fun. So I'll post some videos from that later. But there's a couple of good bands on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see Ruby J in particular. She's on early, so I will get up there for that. And they're showing the football in the middle, so they're going to have 2 bands and the football, then the headliner, which is going to be quite cool. So it's going to be quite a messy night up there in a venue called Band on the Wall in Manchester. So that's where I'll be. If anyone wants to come and send a hit squad, send it. Band on the Wall. I'll be there from 6 to fucking 10:30. Oh, and Monday I should be doing some comedy. I've got to find out if this gig's still on, but yeah, finally doing the thing that I came here to do. So hopefully I'll go and meet some people and not upset too many people and start snaking my way into the comedy scene up here. So I've got some beers in the fridge. As I said, I'm having this coffee. I've got a fucking Coke thing here as well. I'm just, my system is not ready for drinking. I woke up so drunk this morning. It took me like 3 hours to move. I got up for a pint of water. I've literally just had the shower. About to do a shop run and all that stuff. But it took me a little while to get going today. It's weird though. It's just beer as well. It's not really mixing my drinks that much. It's fucking hit me last night. I think, did I eat? I genuinely don't know if I ate last night. That might have something to do with it. I had some chips when I got in. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I bet it's early over there in Canada. What time are we dealing with over there? About is it like Eastern time? Is it we're looking at like it's a big country, right? What time is it over there? Let me know. See, my brain wasn't even functioning. All of Canada was just in the one place in the east. The Canadians that I met in Peru were from, I don't know. I don't know if I still have them on Facebook. What was his name? Mike something. Really nice guys. Him and his sister. Oh, there he is. I'm still Facebook friends with him. I won't dox him, obviously. From Slave Lake, Alberta. So yeah, that was fucking 2015. We met them. We just spent one night with them basically, and we stayed in a hostel in Lima called the Flying Dog, and there was another version of Flying Dog over the road. I don't even know where we met these people. Out probably, and then we went back to their hostel and drank until we had to get a cab to the airport to come home. A 25-hour journey, and I was just in the airport with cocaine falling out my nose, drunk, just panicking and anxious. It was hilarious journey home, man. We almost missed our flight as well. Me and my good friend Katie. 9:46. There we go. Yes, you kind of rocking with that Eastern time. Smack dab in the middle of coffee with the dog time. 7:46 for them. Right. Okay, so they're across. Callum Gaddafi. No, it's coffee. It's coffee, man. It's coffee time. I do smell good, Tom. Bisbee, those pictures you sent from Bisbee look absolutely fucking awesome. I don't know if I can bring them up here. Yeah, let's bring this post up from Tom. I'm sure he doesn't mind. Go and follow Konopka on Twitter. There we go. Let's bring these up. What are magical wonderlands? Look at that. There's the hill. Is that the hill with the B on? Downtown Bisbee there. I remember that place. I remember that. I parked there. Beautiful. There we go. What a nice bit of Bisbee, Arizona. Home, of course. Home of the famous Tom Konopka. There we go. Cheers, Tom. Oh, yeah. There will be beers. There going to be beers. But I got so fucked up yesterday. I couldn't get my shit together. So I'm having a coffee. I got Coke, and I'll crack open a beer in a bit. Taking your coffee with you alone. Living in a husky town. Yeah, such good picks. Cheers for popping in there, Tom. We'll have a conversation. I've got to decide what to do about this US trip, but at the moment it's going to be March. But what I might do, Tom, is get you to send a bag of coffee over to Minddog or someone like that, and I'll collect it because I can't come to Arizona this time, unfortunately. It's just going to be if I put three cities on that trip or 3 states on that trip, it's going to be too. Well, I've already got 3. I mean, so that's going to be enough. But trip 2, 2023. God damn it! All the Mexican food. Reset the car, hangover kill. Yeah, absolutely, man. I've got to go out to a gig in about 2 hours, so I need a bit of hair of the dog as well. But I just need a fucking kick up the arse. Just while I'm getting myself set up here in Studio Man Catcher. Location B. I've got a location C for in-person shit. I'm looking at it. I think it'll be good. Yeah. Might make use of it next weekend when a comic comes to visit. You're just saying words. Oh, water. What? Don't they say? We'll have to ask Caitlin if she pops on. In Philadelphia, don't they say water? Water? Want some water? No idea. I'll have to I might write some code that shows where all the followers are from Twitter and where people might have to get a map of where people listen from here. I've got one on Twitch, but it doesn't work. It's just got one and in the UK, so it's not working properly. You know, one of those plugins. Oh Jesus. That was disgusting. I'm sorry for doing that. I nearly, now I think back to 10 seconds ago, I nearly vomited in my mouth. You just nearly saw me just spew. I look like I'm on a sunbed, no, that fucking light. But I think my skin tone in reality is grey today. Yeah, man. Yeah, well, let's get on to it. I'm so autistic about trips. I remember, I think it was a Saturday morning, being in the coffee shop, probably after eating breakfast somewhere, and just looking at it and thinking, I'm going to buy a bag of that, and then just didn't, and I've regretted it for 6 years. Strange times. What's the border down there like, Tom? Have they enforced it anymore? Have they, made any fortifications? Because it was like a fence when I went there with a little guard box. Twitch told me how many hours you listen, watch. Oh, did it really? Is it a lot? We also know from channel points, right? So when I start getting covered in tattoos in a few months from Caitlin redeeming pictures of Brett Brock's face on my bum. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, wild time just today. Yeah, big World Cup game for those of you interested in football. England, France tonight at 7. I will be in a gig venue and watching it between bands. So that's going to be exciting. Very tough game. Obviously, France are big favourites, but you never know. Let's go and enjoy it. And yesterday, of course, Brazil got knocked out by Croatia, and Argentina beat the Netherlands. Yeah, this is going to take me 30 minutes to wake up, guys. I'm still convinced I'm just in a coma on the floor, and this is all imaginary. Sure. People are watching. Sure, Carl. Get up. Wake up. You owe me money. Oh, there you go. Jem's going to spot. Yes, because I know a lot of Brazilians, they were all fucking devastated last night, but I've convinced at least 3 of them to support England tonight. Portugal, yeah, it's 3:00 game. Right. So let me, I can get that on the TV actually. Let me see if is it ITV or BBC? I can have that on in the background there. Morocco, Portugal. Morocco did all right, didn't they, the other day? Didn't they dump Spain out? Let me see what channel it's on. And I'll find that out just by pressing things. I'm going to guess ITV. I don't know why, because they had the 3:00 game yesterday, I think. Probably won't be able to stream any volume because of YouTube. God, these apps take fucking forever to start up. ITVX, let's go. Their offices are just here, actually, down the road. So there it is. There it fucking goes. Watch live. Sorry, guys, I'm just setting up the football. Is this the Moroccan national anthem? Fucking earache, isn't it? Right, let's turn that down. There we go. Cheers for the reminder for that. Yeah, I've been funny about this World Cup. I've sort of been half in, half out of it. It's weird it being winter. It's not the same vibe, even though England are already in the quarterfinals, which is probably as good as we can hope. But I would bloody love it if we beat France. If we beat France, I will probably get into it then. I'll be like, come on, let's go. But then we're going to hit a juggernaut in the semis. Yeah, that's exactly it. I want Argentina to win just so Messi can lift the World Cup and Ronaldo stands can shut the fuck up finally. ITV, cheers, man. Yeah, I thought it would be. There's a guy that streamed football by holding control and pretending he was playing FIFA. Phenomenal stuff. I guess. Yeah, they'd probably do a good job of searching the audio these days, wouldn't they? I'm sure they came up. I guess if you put it in the corner and then a little bit transparent with OBS or something and just sit there with a controller, yeah, it's definitely a good move. I'm all for it. Beat the rat. It's going to be so tough. Mbappe is so fucking good because you hear the hype and he's obviously all over FIFA games and stuff. But watching him play is disgusting. And it's going to be a bit of a problem down that left-hand side or down our right-hand side. And it's not just Mbappe, is it? They've got a fucking great squad. But we've got phenomenal attacking options. You know, we've got 6 good attacking options, I think. So yeah, I'm confident of it. As long as we leave it all out on the pitch, right? You leave it all out on the pitch, the sweat, the blood, the fucking tears. Let's go. Let's just fucking have it. And if we get turned over, we get turned over. But I don't want any of this pensive shit and then getting done, or just not trying, tired. You remember that? Was it the last World Cup with Croatia knocked us out? We just got to that game and we just looked fatigued. So I just hope we don't have that. We shouldn't do today. And we have got quite a good squad, so we can rotate a bit more than we could in the past as well. Sterling's come back, isn't he? Because so England striker Raheem Sterling, someone broke into his house while he was in Qatar and he flew home from the fucking Middle East to London, basically. Sorry. And I think he's gone back out. So we could do with him. It's always good for England. So yeah, it's going to be good times. You should have seen me before I got in the shower. If you think I look rough now, you should have seen me before I got in the shower. Jesus Christ, it's a fucking mess. But I'll start to pep up. I've got 2 hours to pep up. So I thought I'd hang with you guys for a little while. But yeah, I thought I'd come and rev up YouTube a little bit, given I've been streaming just to Twitch for a while. And when I get a proper schedule list down, I'll do at least one a week on YouTube, live, and to other places, Facebook and that. But yeah, at least 2 a week to Twitch. I like it. What a nice community it is over Twitch. Seemingly meeting new people over there every month. And Wee Bald Guy, of course, who lives fucking here across the city. Well, he lives outside of the city somewhere. So we're going to go out for a curry sometime in the new year, I think. So that'll be weird. Meeting my first internet person. Take him out on a date and have a chicken madras. I don't know what Husky Boyo's doing today. I saw he get onto it with Lipsky last night on Twitter. And also Ken Harris was shitting on me as well. So I was like, listen, don't fucking start on me, Steve Cockfish. You know, but I was also fucking hammered as well. Normally I wouldn't bite, but I was just absolutely hammered. He seemed to think I don't know my hair's fallen out. Motherfucker. I'll knock that cigar out your chops, you fucking dead-eyed stalker. I don't even know. It's just a drunken memory, and when you can't be fucked to look at the notifications. I can't be fucked to look back, basically. But the American psychos are the problem. The Mexicans that work here are the nicest people I've ever met. American wingnuts are the big problem. The wall is to keep America out of Mexico. Yeah, no, you're right. I can't wait to go to Mexico. Have a good day, Tom. Have a great Saturday, my friend. Enjoy your hike. Enjoy your day. I cannot wait to go to Mexico. As I said last night, Mexico City, tacos. I want to hit the beach somewhere. I've got a friend from Tijuana, actually. I need to get in contact with her. And I want to go to like Chichen Itza and ruins and all that shit as well. So it's on the list, but time goes so fast and my trips tend to line up. So it's going to be probably 2024 before I get to Mexico, which is insane. Yeah, I saw the whole thing this morning. And then someone tweeted there's been a murder. It's phenomenal. That was great. Yeah, Brock didn't pull any punches at all. The first thing was like shit, just like in movies or something. And then it was just this big. It's fun though. I think Lipsky's game though as well, to be fair. Even when he gets turned over, he's fairly game with people that he knows. But it is funny. Yeah, Jem, I can't remember how it started. I can't remember how it started at all. But I know that Brett quote tweeted Lipsky and said it's shit just like all your movies or something like that. And then it was, but there were two threads basically. Yeah, thanks, Tom. It's going to be a good night. Yes. Yeah, you know it. You know it all the way from Bisbee, Arizona. I don't leave home without the ability to stop my fucking arsehole bleeding. Yeah, thank you for reminding me as well. I'll pop those in a little while. It's medical Twitch. Oh, it's YouTube. It's medical. Yeah, you know, he comes out of his little hole and opens his mouth every now and then, and that's it. I think I just called him a fake author and fucking left it at that. But yeah, whatever. No, I don't get bothered by it, really anything. I was just absolutely fucking hammered, and yeah, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna tweet shit hammered as well. So they need to take it. Yeah, they need to take it. You really, we all need breathalyzers to use Twitter. I think that should be. You should. It's just gone. No. You're gonna tweet fucking insane shit. I forgot I can mute that by tapping it. Yeah, I'm just nipping at these cheese and onion Walker's Max. I believe they're Lay's in the US and everywhere else in the world, but here they're Walker's. But the Max versions, come on now. Salt and vinegar are the best, but I had some of these today. Just getting into it. Oh, the coffee mug's. I've done the coffee. I'll drink this and then I better crack open some beers, right? So we're about 9 a.m. Brett Brock time. So he'll be drinking in a couple of hours. It might be coffee time over there. It's fucking Groundhog Day in his house, isn't it? I'm going to get a beer. When I'm really big, I can't read. No, whatever. He used to get real moody about shit, didn't he? But he stopped. I'm glad to see him. He's a bit happy now. He's streaming. I think it's made. I told him that as well. That he seems way less negative and shitty when he started streaming. But yeah, I've got no beef. Ain't no beef here, man. But I will. You know, I'm not worried about any of these people. So yeah, I don't like going off on Twitter though. That's the thing. I don't like getting genuinely mad, and I don't like even that much of a banter Twitter thread because it just notifications piss me off. So when I wake up and there's loads of notifications, it just fuck off. But I'm very good at not looking at it, so I'll never look at anything from that. I just saw a load this morning. I was like, nah, done. But it's all good. It's all good. No, it's 0-0. 5 minutes gone. Morocco, Portugal. Weirdly, it's abbreviated MAR. Morocco. Or is that Morocco? I don't know. I got to stop burping into the microphone. I keep forgetting it. It's so rude, guys. There we go. It's so rude. Oh yeah, if you got some real beef, yeah, we'll have a conversation about it. Mine dog gets into it. He keeps baiting, tweeting Elon Musk 10 times a fucking day. It's headspace to me. It's all headspace. And when you're in, if I don't like someone, they don't even enter my fucking mind unless they're in front of me or they're actively stopping me from doing something. I haven't got time to be. Cause it's just all that headspace and time that you're thinking about it, and in a thread over days. Sometimes I haven't got time for that shit. It's just energy, and I haven't got a lot of it. I get fucking tired every day anyway, so I want to put it in the things I want to put it into. Favorite ticket burps from moans in the TikToks. Yeah, but it's not. Half the time I'm just acting as I would in person with you guys, like just sat in a bar. I'll just be burping and fucking all the rest of it. Gotta move this little Little heater thing around here. Almost time for the jumper. Come on. Yeah, it's supposed to snow this morning, but it's kind of like sleety. It's more rain. But yeah, it seemed to have dried off a bit now. When I went to the store, it was just sleeting. Sleet's a horrible word. You goddamn dirty sleet. What are you wearing, sleet? But I think it's stopped now, hopefully, but it's still cold. Yeah, I used to love working in an office, and then you kind of know people, and then we'd go to a pub and I'd drink 4 pints and start talking about CIA black sites in Jordan. Like, Jesus. I miss that, though. I miss the look in people's faces when they realise I'm fucking psychotic. I'm really not in the mood to drink, but I'm going to do it for you guys. Now I'm going to do it for me. It's 3:09. It's 3:09. That's late for Brett Brock. Has he woken up today, Brett? What's going on? Let me see if he's woken up today. Husky boy. Oh. No, he's not awake yet. You can just tell by the first tweet of the day when he's having a shit, right? 10 hours. 10 hours. It's almost time to get up. Your mum had just called. I was just saying that talking about the pictures she sent me last night. I tried to make a joke, but then couldn't talk because nothing. Just hanging. You Knopka popped in, and all that stuff we're talking about. Brett Brock and Lipsky having a Twitter back and forth last night. Nothing really, and it's still 0-0. Morocco, Portugal. So there. Yeah, I'll probably have 2 cameras going in the new year as well. And I think StreamYard's most premium service, you can flip between them. But eventually I'm getting a video switcher, so I'll be able to live cut. Bum, 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 bum. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Which is going to be good for in-person shit. I cannot wait to start that. And by the way, any comedian that wants to crash at my place because they've got gigs up here, they have to do a podcast. It's the fucking rent. It's the rent. Fuck Lipsky. Jesus, a trollop, yeah. I'm glad you used the word trollop in Denmark as well. It's an underused word. They weren't nudes. They were like tasteful burlesque shots, you know? It's just a lady. I am replying to a message. Pardon me for being rude. It was not me. It was my food. That's what living with an English boyfriend is person. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry you got infested. Sorry your nice Danish culture got infested with Englishisms. Yeah. All I can think about is travel. But don't. I'm gonna have to book this appointment on the 23rd for my passport and hope to get it in the first 2 weeks of January. And paying for it's gonna make me feel physically sick. So I would bet on the football, but I've tried to put money on and like 2 different sites have just said no way. So I don't know whether I've got a fraud alert on these gambling sites or what, but I'll see if I can get on them today. That's how I'm going to race it. I'm going to gamble my way to pay for my passport. Oh, Birmingham. I think I'm like a season behind. I haven't watched a new one. I think I'm a season behind that, so maybe the end of 4 I got to. Yeah, it's all right. It's quite good fun. Birmingham, it's not cool, Birmingham. But Peaky Blinders tried to make it cool, but it's a rough place. There's a pub called Peaky Blinders there where they've painted flat caps on the outside, and there is actually another Peaky Blinders bar, but it's a more fancy one here in Manchester. I saw it the other day. They do nice cocktails and shit. I'll go in there sometime and put some pictures up. So I'm looking forward to exploring the bars and all that around here, getting out and about. I'm going to be social. I'm going to meet people, because in cities gone by, I've been a bit not a shut-in, but I've just been a bit antisocial for a while. I'll meet comics and stuff Monday, I guess. Hope that gig's on. I'll have to check. Peaky Blinders. You and mate, we're going up Bram. We're going down the big smug, we are. Manchester's more like that, innit? That's more like, in fucking Manchester, innit? Have it. Then you get your more mild Manchester accents, your more mild ones. A bit like that. Well, yeah, I mean, years ago, I was in a really social place, and then when I moved to Wales, all that went away, and it was just hard for me. I had housemates and stuff at the time, but it was just hard for me to meet people. It took years, but now I've got a good group of friends from there that I'm doing that running challenge with them in January, sort of virtually, and we'll meet up. I went over and had a drink with them a couple of months ago. So 3 or 4 of them I've stayed in contact. It's really nice. So I'll go over there and see them again soon. And we'll do 3 or 4 things throughout the year as well. We'll get together and go on the piss. I think some of them might come up here at some point. So yeah, I did meet those guys for a while. But then doing comedy, I've met fucking hundreds of people. They're people whose names I never know or remember, but they know me. I was meeting people in Edinburgh that I think I know you. They're like, yeah, you've done my gig, have I? Have I? So that without having that the last few years, I would have been fucked. I wouldn't have spoken to anyone. But I've made friends for life in comedy. I've got 4 or 5 guys that I'd go to bat for forever. And then about 20 that I like quite a lot, and about another 10 that okay, and another 70 that are just there. I've probably met well over 100 people through doing comedy. But can't keep in contact with them all, can you? Dust Till Porn. It's actually PAWN. Yeah, I probably won't be able to go tonight. And also, town Friday and Saturday in the city is going to be fucking rammed everywhere. And because it's one World Cup, so there's going to be fucking people out all over the place tonight. Manchester's a footballing city. And it's also Christmas party season, office party, all that stuff. So it's going to be fucking chaos. But I'm at the top, so it's in little sections. The northern quarter is kind of like the cool area. I'm going to be at the top of that on this venue, band on the wall. It looks like a nice little venue. I'm going to stick. The old man's got to put his woolly jumper on. Better not straighten my hair after this, or Ken will accuse me of fucking losing it. Oh. These headphones are good, but they do play. That's play and stop. And every time I hit my ear, I end up, what the fuck's that? Yeah, so I jumped on Twitter Live today just to while I was setting up. I might do it a bit more often before streams. Just hang out a bit. I don't know. You can see me make coffee and shit. It's interesting. I might have to go and take a shit in a minute. I'm serious. I'm serious. I might have to go and squeeze out a log. Now, it won't be long. It'll literally, I'm such an expert. And I understand my guts. Yeah, I will have to. I'll just sit down and go, blah, wipe hands, and I'll be back. Just explaining how to do the toilet there. But I'm going to try and hang on. Bring the camera now. Nah. No one wants to see that. No, let's spell it right. Well, it's a pun, isn't it? So I think it's supposed to sound like porn, even though it's porn as in pawn shop. So it's got like guitars and that. But actually, I think it's a bit fancier than you would think. I thought it may be a bit of a dive bar, but it's not. I think the cocktail is quite nice in there. But I'll definitely go in there. I'll take Jamie in there for one in the new year. And I'll try and get him up here in January, I think. Smell-o-vision. Smell-o-vision, yeah. We'll try. But yeah, no one wants to hear that. I need to sit down and go through Soundstripe. Sullivan's just tweeted, "Where's the drinkathon at today?" Let me just reply. There we go. So I'm hoping to get the boys together for a drinkathon next Saturday, so the 17th. I wanted to do a few in December, but it's just worked out. It's difficult. So I think next Saturday might be a good day. I'll do it from here because the fridge is right there, even though it's warm in the other room. So I'll talk to Brock this week, and we'll put out a little alert, little free invite to Andrist and the like as well if they want to pop on. But we'll go obviously all day. So. Yeah, I'm dead as well. We'll go all day, obviously, and then maybe do a Christmas Eve one with Brock if he's because I don't like him being alone. He complains, but I think he likes getting on the pods. I think so. I might do a little Christmas Eve one with him. I'll be back down with my family, but it's all right. I'll have a few hours spare Christmas Eve. It's fine. Everyone's dead anyway, so we can't. It's not as though we go visiting people as a family on Christmas Eve. They're all dead. So it's just I'll just be at my parents' place, so I'll do a little stream from there. And then Christmas dinner with my sister. She always makes dinner for the last few years. I like that. It's very nice. This year I'm going to take them down a big box of Krispy Kreme Christmas themed donuts, the Christmas tree shapes and stuff. And I'm going to give them some money this year. I'm shit with gifts, but I'm going to give us just some cash, because she's put on this Christmas thing every year, and they struggle. I'm telling you their personal life, but they struggle a bit. So I'm going to pay for dinner, the turkey and all that stuff. I think it might be a nice thing to do at the in-laws. Hopefully not till 5. Yeah, I'll go down. We eat at like 3 p.m. So I'll probably go down. I don't want to go down too early because they might even eat at 1 or 2, to be honest. I don't want to go down too early because they'll be busy and it'll be stressful. So I'll go down at like 1. I like my sisters, though. We get on the best out of all the siblings. She didn't raise me, but did that go off? How long has there been no sound? I just looked at it and the fucking light was off. My sister didn't raise me, but she did help me read, and without that I would have ended up unable to read like my brothers. So it took me swimming, all that stuff, looked after me. So yeah, we've always had a good relationship, and I always head down there. All our kids are older now, they're all grown up. The youngest one's got himself a girlfriend now. He might be moving up here next year, my nephew, for university. So we're going to see what happens. Hope he doesn't throw it away for this girl, because it's not going to last, right, at that age. So yeah, it'd be good to have him in town. Actually, he's a good boy. We like football and all that stuff, and he's just started drinking and all that. So it's weird. He's got one post on his Instagram, and it's him with a big cigar in his mouth in like fucking Turkey or wherever they went with his mates and shit. It's just weird seeing him, an adult. Him and the closest sister, my goddaughter, I still think of as the little ones, because my sister's got 4 kids, right? She had 2, didn't have any for years. They grew up and then had 2 more. So I think of them as the little ones. He's a fucking, he's going to university. Good footballer, actually. He's been very good since he was about 5. He had a really serious injury last year. Took a year out, got a big scar on his knee. But I think he'll go into coaching or something like that. He should do. But so it's my niece, my goddaughter, that last Christmas that got me to watch Velocipasta. And she told me about Larmageddon, but I haven't seen that. I'm going to bring up the poster for Velocipasta. It was on Amazon. I think I might have pirated it, but then I didn't realize it was on 2017 action comedy. And again, the poster makes the raptor, because it's about a priest that turns into a dinosaur. It makes him see really good, but when you actually see it, well, I'll spoil it a bit, right? So there's the poster. Not spoil it, but that's the poster, right? It looks fucking badass. And I'll show you what the Velociraptor looks like. Look at this. But it's great. Yeah, there's a dinosaur fighting ninjas, and he's really a priest. I fucking love it. So we drive beers, you bronies, smoker. Yeah. And the older girl, years ago now, well, with my ex, like 10 years ago, we went out drinking with her when she turned 18, and she caused a fight. She tipped a drink over someone and kicked him in the bollocks in the pub, and I'm like, I fucking hate it when women do that anyway, because now it's a problem with me. I was like, I don't know, man, it's nothing to do with me. So yeah, it made me feel a bit uncomfortable drinking with them, but I'll probably get drunk with this little fucker, especially if he comes up here. And I'm going to be the emergency call, aren't I? I'm going to be, when he's fucking hammered in the city, being sick, I'm going to be the emergency call, aren't I? I know exactly what's going to go on. Can you get me a taxi? Humpback Raptor. But they're doing a sequel to Velocipasta, which is going to be good. Well, let's look at Cocaine Bear then. I wish I could play trailers and stuff. It's so fucking annoying. Actually, I might be able to if they're on Instagram, right? Might be a Bert Kreischer for some reason. Look at this. Cocaine Bear. There's a better poster than that. This one. It's like Sin City, isn't it? It's just a bear on cocaine. You can't get. There's such a good there's such a good range of shitty movies now to watch. It's so good. There was one I watched again. My niece showed it to me. It's about these teenagers that go on vacation at the lake and something stalking them from under the water. It's so fucking bad, but it's great. So hard, famous Soma. Good morning to you. Hey, NM. Chili. Let me get a beer. I'll be right back. I'm actually getting these ghost chilies. Have a look. Motherfucker. This came out in one. I'll show you these ghost chilies in a bit. There's fucking glue on these beers, man. Give me a second, pigs. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. This town is coming like a ghost town. Ghost chilies. That's why that was in my head. Semantics, eh? Yeah, dried ghost chilies, motherfucker. These will blow your ass out of the sky. That's right, chili. Better put these back or I'll get home drunk and eat them tonight. All right, let's get a beer open here. This town is coming like a ghost town. There's my wanking claw holding up the beer. Not bad pour. And this glass is perfect for these stubbies. Still 0-0, Morocco, Portugal, 28 minutes gone. Do you know, I'm going to hydrate. Well, I've had a coffee and Coke just now. I'm going to Coke Zero. I'm going to have some actual water soon, I think. Cool, is it? Absolutely. Yeah, so Cocaine Bear for me. That's got to happen. Again, I haven't seen it. Larmageddon. Let's have a look at this. Oh, yeah. All fucking day long. Right? Am I right? What about this does not make you want to see it? Larmageddon. It's got fucking lasers coming out of its eyes. He's named after an old friend because you were such a cunt. I hope I don't become a cunt. Well, you know, being a cunt's not all that bad. Depends what type of cunt. I mean, you fucking cunt. Or it's like, all right, cunt. Do you want to be a cunt? That's right. You're a fucking cunt. Love it. I love the Lenny McLean voice. This time's coming like that's in my fucking nut now. I'm gonna have to listen to it. That's the way to get an earworm out, isn't it? You listen to it. Oh, my lordy. I'm gonna put a couple of these beers in the freezer because they're not quite cold enough. I can have my Gucci on. I can wear my Louis Vuitton, even with a beer can on. Major sick. Major sick. Don't let me forget I got beers in the freezer because I'll fucking explode. I'll give them 10 minutes in there. Police wanted to murder everyone, both delivered and my ex-friend. That's not nice. Feel bad about me, James. Yeah, I sometimes feel bad about stuff I say. I've always had that Tourette, so years before I started doing any podcasting or comedy. Years. Forever, I was just the guy in the pub that after 13 pints would just start. If I thought of something, it had to come out. And people that knew me really well knew because I'd twitch and there'd be a little smile. and then I have to say something. It's like, fucking hell. Always had it. I'll try and control it a bit more these days, but inside it's just a monologue of fucking shitty things. Thank you, Finisoma. Thank you very much. I definitely won't. It actually hasn't been in my head for a couple of weeks, but I thought I'd just give you a rendition there. I could have my Brooklyn on. I could have my Pilsner. But even with Brett Brock on, I made you draw right juice. Hello and welcome. Welcome on in, everybody. If you don't know me, my name's Brett. I'm an artist from Nashville. I drink and I draw. That's my little grift on Twitch. Cheers to you. Love it. I love sophisticated Brock. Yeah, me and Costa, I used to work in a supermarket years ago, and I had a lot of complaints, but I wouldn't ever wear my name tag. It was a big store, and I would never wear my name tag. And then someone would ask me something and be rude to me, and I just literally say, go fuck yourself. And then they'll be like, where's the manager? And by that time, I would just go. I would just leave the vicinity. Now I think people have probably got CCTV on the fucking iPads now, the managers, so that they would track it down straight away. But back then, I didn't give a fuck. Too much fighting on the dance floor. Yeah. Absolutely. I think Prodigy covered Ghost Town for a War Child album. My friend's mum, when we were at school, helped produce the first War Child album. It's for the Bosnian conflict, wasn't it? She was in PR, and she had basically loads of celebrities and bands' phone numbers, like Damon Albarn, all that, in a little black book. And we used to phone them. We used to go round on a Friday night drinking Coke and a pizza. We should just go through the little black book and just call people. Yeah, I'm sure they did, Christine. Let me have a nose. Yeah, just Prodigy Ghost Town. I'll put the YouTube link in here. I'm just going to listen to the beginning. Yes, it's good. Atmospheric. Love the Prodigy. Oh, it's great. Yeah, I love the Prodigy. So their 91 album Experience is just ravey, but it's so good. Like No Good Start Dances on the next one, isn't it? But like Charlie says, always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere. Like, yeah, loads of good shit. And then music for the Jilted Generation is fucking phenomenal. Voodoo people, magic people. And then the Fat of the Lands, great with Firestarter and Breathe and all that stuff. But those first two albums I love as well. Rest in peace, Keith. Yeah, I saw. So I went to Nebworth '96, right, which is Oasis, 125,000 people in the field, and Prodigy supported, and they were absolutely fucking phenomenal. So Keith crowd surfed. I'm pretty sure he spat on us. He crowd surfed way out, like 30 rows back, and was just going around. Great live show back then because you had the dancer Leroy Maxim, the MC Keith. He was a dancer, but then he started to do vocals and stuff after Firestarter, obviously. But I didn't listen to too many of that. I know they did a track called Girls, and they did a few albums. They're still touring now. Obviously, Keith killed himself 2 or 3 years ago. But he was fucking hilarious as well, Keith Flint. But I'm gonna. Do you know what? I've got a really good mate that I've not seen in person for about 15 years. We talk all the time, and it's just been a nightmare. We're nightmares. But he got me on into the Prodigy when we were at school. He gave me the Prodigy experience, right? If they tour next year, I would still go and see him, and I think I would try and maybe take my buddy Matt and we'll go and see him in Brixton, because I always wanted to go to their Brixton Academy gigs, because every year it's now like O2 or whatever. But the Brixton Academy gigs were famous. Every couple of years, the Prodigy would go and fucking smash it up in a giant ball. That's right. Yeah, they did that on one of the tours, didn't they? Zorb balls. Yeah, Prodigy are great, fucking great. And Liam Howlett, the musician, basically, he's a classically trained pianist. And when you see him live, he's playing a lot of the stuff live. He'll have 2 keyboards and a shit programmed in, and the synths. I think he's like mixing stuff in as well, the drum machine. But it's so good live. It's such a good show. It's just, you know, I wish I could see Keith and Maxim and Leroy. I think Leroy left years ago. They've got someone else in to replace, I guess, take Keith's position, I guess, to fill up the stage. But even Fatal of the Land, underrated tracks like, is it Narayan? I love all that. And that whole album is very nostalgic for me. You know, music just takes you back to time and place. And it just takes me back to a certain summer. Yeah, just Diesel Power, all that stuff. I listened to it again last year. It's really nostalgic for me. And then bangers like Breathe and Firestarter, of course. But yeah, if you haven't heard Prodigy, there are a lot. I mean, most people know Firestarter, right? But that was 3 albums in, and that was a real heavy guitars and Keith singing. That was real departure from their stuff. But I just like how every album's so different. The first album is literally like a little rave album, because they were doing illegal raves back then in the late 80s, coming into 1990, around Essex. And they just got bigger through rave culture, basically. Like a rock Yannick. But yeah. Andres, have some gay tidings, everyone. It's still 0-0. I'll get some energy in a second. The second hour will be morning. I don't want to get too fucked up though, because it's not even 4, and you know. I've got to be careful. I really should eat. I've got like a microwave chili. Yeah, I'm going to sort my diet out next week for sure. And I'm going to go for a run Monday, hopefully. Get 1 or 2 a week in. I feel a bit better than I did in January when I started. Yes, I'm hoping to slim down a bit more by February and get that 100k done. Mum was obsessed with Yanni. Don't know Yanni. Yeah, my parents were into like a lot of 50s music, like 50s rock and roll. But I found that I wish I could get it. It was a CD with 50s, and every song was about fucking kids. Like, she's 16, she's beautiful, she's mine, and you know, you're much too young, girl. You better run. Fucking what? The whole album was just that. It's fucking phenomenal, and I wish I could find, because it was like a 50s greatest hits. And I wish I could find the specifics, because I swear it's like all of side 1, but every single song was about, you know, bending a 15-year-old over. Fair play. It was the 50s, you know. For big. Morocco are beating Portugal. They've dumped Spain out. Shit. Can't really see. God, the TV looks tiny. It's not tiny, I swear. And there's Manchester. There's gloomy Manchester out the window. I was having a focus issue. Need a focus group. Hey, focus. There we go. Now that lighter's got all fucked up in here. Little touch. Elevator music, beats crazy musician, 4 keyboards. Right, okay. If you want someone fresh on the keyboard, yeah. And yeah, it was, by today's standards, obviously it's a no-no, but then it was the fucking norm. And those girls were out chasing it as well. Those 14-year-olds queuing up at the band's door. What do you think they wanted to do? They were just queued up at the door at the side of the stage like this. Yeah, it's I don't know. That's like 50 inches, I think. But it's also quite close as well. So it's just, I guess it's the camera sensor. I can't put the software for this camera on this machine, which is another, because I can zoom and all that shit. Yeah, I want to get an iMac, not an iMac, a Mac Mini, but 16 gig. But I might wait till the M2 chips come out and then get a slightly discounted M1. I think that might be the move. But all the second-hand M1s are 8 gig because everyone bought one, realised it's not enough, and sold them, basically. So the 16 gigs are hard to find even used. Because I'd get one through Back Market or something, which is a good site for refurbished stuff, because they're refurbed and guaranteed. But I might just buy a new M1 16 gig. That's what I want. And that's going to be, I'm going to stream and edit and all that stuff from there. I will get a gaming PC as well at some point. I just want to put one foot back into Mac just for I'm going to do a lot more video editing and that sort of shit. Yeah, 1-0 Morocco, just coming up to half time. Wild times this World Cup. Wild times. Fucking, they could be in the semi. That is mad. Because again, unlike American sports, right, the World Cup means it's people from all around the world, and there's knockout. Yeah, you can draw in the group stages, but now you can't. So these are all knockout rounds. You get the last 16, then the quarterfinals, which is on now, so it's 8 teams, then the semi-finals and the final. So yeah, whoever loses is fucking on the plane home. But yeah, I haven't quite got into it. I saw all the Qatari bullshit going on. But also it's winter and it's just so weird. It's just so weird because the World Cup, last year when the Euros won, it was just out of COVID. It was summertime. Everyone's out in the fucking beer gardens, happy in your shorts and all that. It's just so weird it being this time of year. And people have got other shit on, this time of year. Other shit on their mind. Like suicide. I haven't seen your face around since I was a kid. You're bringing back the memories of the things that we did. Hanging out on climbing trees, pretending to fly. Do you want to be a spaceman and live in the sky? Well, it's all right. It's all right. Who are you and me to say what's wrong, what's right? Yeah, Dykes is knocking around. He'll claim he's doing Jamie doing family shit is sitting around drinking and vaping while his family do shit around him. Hey, move that over there, would you? Move that over there. Put it there. I'm starting to feel that beer off the first one. You start day drinking and it's a top up. I might just start yelling the N-word soon. And I'll claim I'm Brett Brock. Hello, I'm Brett Brock. I'm an artist from Nashville. I draw, I drink, and that's my little grift on Twitch. N-word! Yeah, you got to get the right angle for dick pics, right? It's got to be. You got to get it hard for like the 3 seconds, and then it's got to be right. It's got to be from there up, right? Exactly. I know. Brett Brock knows. Don't think he had that dream and think he posted them everywhere because he hasn't got a bunch of dick pics on his phone. Oh, who sent the some cookies? That's nice. Who seems cool? I like who. Yeah, nice bunch of people. All. I might get some barbecue recommendations off Ericsson for Austin for the spring. He's not a veggie, right? Yeah. Yeah, that Nebworth gig was fucking great. And they released it. It was my first ever gig that I went to, which is insane. And they released it at the cinema. They did a documentary about a year ago. And I went to the cinema and took like a 6-pack of beer and sat in the corner and got fucking smashed and just relived that day. Beautiful documentary. You know, before the internet, before phones, we went there with no way of getting home. In the middle of nowhere, with kids. We had barely any money. I've still got the T-shirt from that day. Couldn't afford anything. We were just in the crowd all day, and just there was 125,000 people there, and we couldn't move. We didn't move. I don't even know if we went to the toilet. Like we were there from like 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It was an all-day thing. Gig started like at midday. Manic Street Preachers, Chemical Brothers, Prodigy, the Bootleg Beatles cover band, Ocean Colour Scene, and Oasis, I think, that day. Just the whole fucking day. It was great. Yeah, we didn't even people were just going unconscious. And so then what they did, they started coming around the front of us because we were up outside this first section by a barrier, and they were literally throwing water on us and then giving us water. And that the only way we didn't have anything. And when we left, we had again zero money, and they were charging like £1 for a cup of water, which at the time, you know, it'd be about £3 now, which is fucking disgusting. But I did buy a T-shirt for like £10 or £15, and that was it. We had like 20 quid. We didn't have a way of getting home. It was just wild times. Just the memory of it. You know, no pictures. That's why the seeing the documentary was so good, and it actually followed fans going as well, like their journey, their memories of, and they recreated it. It looked really, really good. Especially if you're a drinker, yeah. Oh, there's a documentary on that, isn't there? And was that the massive failure where there were like rapes? They're fucking they set fire to it. They just burned it all down. No one made any money. Alternate along railway tracks, yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna get a beer. Freezer! Beer's in the freezer. And some water in my Sports Direct mug. Here we go with the beer. It's perfect over here. Little heady. I did some I should be dead. I did some crazy shit when I was a teenager, like dangling off a bridge with one hand over a railway track with a bag of beers in this hand, just going. That's, you know, I've had 4 or 5 of those where I should be in a wheelchair or dead. So fucking dumb. That would terrify me about having kids. You know, I know parents are way more helicoptery these days, but you still got to let them go out on the piss when they're 16. That would terrify me because I know the fucking crazy shit that I did. Cheers, OGM. Hope your morning's coming along. Let me see what's going on out here. Out here, up in here. Twinkling Manchester. Twinkling. You can't see that. Yeah, the Comedy Store is here. It's fucking 50 yards away, which is wild. Didn't even know that. The aim is to go up there at some point. That's the aim. The goal. The next couple of years. We'll see. We'll see. Crazy stunts and they're very happy. Yeah, he seems like a sensible kid, DC. It's just heavy, so I fucked it. No, I moved it, so it might be the angle as well. I moved it because I kept walking through it, and I fucked these leaves here. They're like at right angles, so I didn't want to wreck it. So I think it could also be the angle, but it's also grown, right? It's also I swear in the last 2 weeks it's grown. Because I said when it's smaller, these things are smaller, it folds up at night. But I'm gonna have to do some research on how to look after it. We've got another big plant here, surrounded by plants. I've never had a plant that I've kept alive. So I thought for this, do you know what? I'm gonna be a plant guy. And it's nice. It's very nice. I like it. More than this money. Yeah, I'm going to look into. Yeah, I think you're right. Like some bamboo, right, to get it stood up. Yeah, I'll look into some. I've got a book on plant care. I need to open it. That one there is nice. I'll show you this one. Listen to me talking about plants. I like this one as well. Grapes. And the duck walked up to the lemonade stand and said to the man running the stand, he said, "Hey, bop, 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 got any grapes?" "No," said the man, "we sell lemonade. It's all we ever. Something else that rhymes with AIDS." Bum, 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 bum. Till the very next day. Bum, 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 ba-da. Love the duck song. Kat found it recently. I found it years ago. But when I was in Brazil, I was playing it to one of my friends out there, and we just went a whole day listening to it. Wada, 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 ba, 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 da. That duck is just a cunt, right? He's just winding the guy up the whole song. But there's 3 songs. It's like 3 parts to a story. The other 2 aren't quite as good, but that first one is so catchy. And the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, he said, "Hey, bop, 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 got any grapes?" Oh, what a day. Oh, Elon Musk. Nazis are coming. Is that a better mind dog voice than the black guy that I do sometimes? This was from the Zoom with Linda, Lindog World, because you actually came in a StreamYard, I think. Lindog World. I'm trying to fucking sing everything today. I've got to listen to some music before I go to this gig because. Oh yeah, I've seen those cookies. Oh, Ericsson looks very happy. Let's. Christmas came up at April in Bisbee. Oh, that's nice. Oh, she posted them up. I see. That's nice. That's very nice. Look, I'll bring it up. StreamYard's so smart these days. Thank you, StreamYard. This smiling bread. Looks a bit rough. Been on the fucking booze, son. Nom 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 nom. They look great. They look fucking great. There's a donut store in Austin that I want to visit. I can't remember the name of it, but it looks fucking phenomenal. They got some great stuff in there. So I'll definitely be picking up that. Picking up a bit of that. I needed. There's a UK cunt doing a live podcast on my computer. Please disregard sign of my work. Yeah, that's great merch, isn't it? Those are expensive. Yeah, they look good. Yeah, they look like quality. But sometimes I think you got to treat yourself, right? I'm learning that. Just get the nice one. No, that's great. Seems she does a lot of that stuff. Did she take some stuff up to Chad's house a few weeks ago? Was it Thanksgiving? Took him some dinner up there or something? Community. See, the best community is on fucking line, isn't it? Like, there's no community in reality anymore. But I'm going to try here. I'm in quite a nice apartment. But I'm going to try and, like, because I've always hated my fucking neighbours and they've always hated me and I've never spoke, blah, blah, blah. There was a murder a couple of doors down a few years ago. But I'm gonna try and be a person here in Manchester. I'm gonna try and new start and all that. Part of the community. More sugar than flavour rather than flavour. Yeah. I actually feel that way about Krispy Kremes. I think Krispy Kremes are a bit overdone. Not that they're massively expensive, but I find them just a bit too much sometimes. I like a couple of them, but I am gonna get the Christmas ones because we have Krispy Kreme stores, but basically we get them from the supermarket. You can get a tray of like 4, 8, or 24, whatever it is. So I'm gonna get a big box for my sister's family, all the Christmas tree shapes and festive donuts. But you always get like a chocolatey, more standard one in that sort of stuff anyway, that kind of stuff, right? We don't get Mr. Donut here, I don't think. I like just cheap jam fucking donuts, man. Like 80 pence from the supermarket. I love a jam donut. I like the Simpsons ones with the pink frosting on, that basic shit. But I brought a bag the other week, but I haven't. That's where the jowls have gone a little bit. Because I used to eat a lot of fucking shit like that all the time. Now chips, crisps are just my problem now. I've got out of the donut habit because I'd always eat 4. I'd eat 4 immediately and then wonder why I'm getting fat. They're so good. A good donut? Or, yes, please. Oh, Japanese? Does he have a Mrs. Donut? I'll marry him. Right, I've got to let me confirm these gig times here. I think it starts at 6. It's 4 p.m. now. Just bear with me, and then I've got a. Where's my phone? There it is. I'm following 5,000 people onto it. That's wild. Time is for the night. Bar open at 5, Ruby J at 6. So I want to get there for no later than 5:30. Let me find out where it is. And on the wall. Maps. Yeah, so it is just up by the Frog and Bucket Comedy Club. Got Gulliver's. It's like a 30-minute walk. Starting point is home. Sorry, I'm just Googling my fucking route here. So if I walk 30 minutes, spot on. What a fucking guess. 24 minutes maybe. Straight up Portland. Straight into the Northern Quarter. No, Deansgate. Okay. Yeah, I'll think about it. And let's look at public transport. Motherfucker. 19 minutes on the tram, but I've got to change. So I'll probably... Yeah, if I get a tram, I'll get one halfway and walk. All right. So I need to leave here. Yeah, before 5, I think I want to leave here. I think I might walk. It's going to be cold. It was founded in the US, but I guess they made it Japanese with all matcha and stuff, right? So it's Mr. Donut, is it? Let me have a look. And I heard Dunkin' does good coffee. Oh, these look great. 5,500 shops, mostly in Asia, but they are... I think they probably still have them in the States. Oh, these look phenomenal. Come on now. Let's share this up with the lads of YouTube. Oh, let's bring this up here. These look great. Look at this. Oh, that looks good. See, this sort of style of shit, there's a Brazilian chocolate called Brigadeiro. It's very rich, but they're so good. And then, yeah, they sort of pink frosted with the shit. Yeah. There we go. I love these little jam ones. Little blob on the outside. Ah. Yeah, they look cool. I do struggle with the really sweet shit. Too much of it, but I can have one, you know? With all that frosting and stuff on. Yeah, custard donuts, even the cheap ones, again. I'll fuck up a custard donut. Okay, I just heard they did good coffee. Like McDonald's, right? That's fair enough. I've got a real fucking not that big. Down here by my apartment, I've got a really wanky coffee place called Mann. So they sell bags of whatever, and whatever you've got filter or whatever it is, they'll just make it the beans or grind it or whatever. You can just buy hipster coffee. It doesn't open weekends. They're that fucking go fuck yourself. They open 7:30 to 4 during the week, not in the evenings. Doesn't open weekends. Fuck you. But it's right outside this window. So but you can get drinks in there. So I'm gonna start going down there. It might be a good place to go and write and stuff if there's space in there. Hey Napo, how you doing, man? If you want to jump on, jump on. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna be here for like another 40 minutes, but I'm gonna have to nip to the toilet, guys. So let me know if you want to jump on, Napo. In the meantime, I gotta just do this. I'll be right back. Boom. Not bad timing again. Yeah, I squeezed out a little log there. You're surprised how quickly I can take a shit, guys. Yeah, cheers, Napo. Thank you for jumping in. Yeah, I like that one. That's probably from White Bat as well. But I'm going to really dig into Soundstripe and see what I can find because there's some good stuff in there, but everything I find isn't quite right. But yeah, so White Bat Audio do a lot of that kind of stuff. They do a lot of death metal and they do a lot of like synth 80s horror stuff. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tracks on there. But yeah, I need a little bed for this as well. Hey, my log's going to come on. Yeah, I've got about 40 minutes here and I've got to make a move, but I'll get a couple of beers down. I'll DM this to you presently. Let's have a look here. There we go, in your DMs, along with a dick pic. Right. Well, it wasn't like a whole, it was basically a piss. But yeah, my diet's better, I guess. It was just a clean as well, pretty clean. Yeah. So we're going to have the captain Mind Dog to come and help out in the old a Saturday afternoon for me, a Saturday morning for the good sir. I always enthusiastically go to Soundstripe, but everything I found some good stuff, but it's not quite right, and I don't want to use the stuff that Brett uses. Let's bring Mind Dog on here. I'm just going to get another beer to bring it up.
I have to turn you off on my phone. Oh, good morning, everybody. Good world, everybody. Look how red I am. I'm so red. What's red and white and black and white, all red and black and white and red all over?
A newspaper.
Or my
a
head.
Priest that's been stabbed. Yeah.
My head. My head is black and white and red all over. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's not morning for you. That's weird.
It's
so
4
weird.
p.m., 4:10 p.m. It's already dark. Let's see how dark it is outside. I think it's gone. Yeah, fucking. There's Manchester. It's already dark.
I just woke up like 10 minutes ago, and I decided to check Twitter. And then when you go on Twitter to see your live stream, it brings you to YouTube, but you don't have the chat button or any of that stuff. You have to close down Twitter and then go to YouTube.
Oh,
and re-find it there. That's weird.
Oh, on the stream that goes, yeah, because I haven't streamed to Twitter for a while, but I thought I'd rev up YouTube again today. I'm basically going to do a couple a week on Twitch and one on YouTube a week. That's the plan. But it's just been me for a while, but it seems to be going down okay. These pigs don't seem to mind me talking absolute shit on my own for an hour or two or 5.
What was again with the tight shirts? What does she mean? This or you?
I guess so. Yeah, it's not me. I've got a woolly jumper on, so it's.
This isn't tight. It's pretty loose. You know, I was thinking of doing one of those like stream. You know, I don't know if you've seen the streams where the girls just go like this, and then all of a sudden they're in a bikini. I want to do one of those.
Oh, the cuts, yeah. There's some great cuts on TikTok. Not just that stuff, but there's some really creative stuff where they just cut to like a different thing. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah.
I purposely slept late today because I was exhausted from yesterday. So this is my morning. I'm having coffee. This is the earliest I've ever been on a stream. For me, I mean, from time I woke up.
I slept well, 7 hours 47, but I was so drunk and I woke up hammered this morning. It was not in a good way. When I started this, I was on coffee and Coke Zero and I had water, but I've got to get a couple of these in before I go out to this gig.
Yeah. I had a gig last night with a sub drummer who thinks a lot. He's a guy who's in his head all the time, right? And so I was on a mission to get him stoned, to get him out of his head. He hasn't been stoned in 40 years, And neither as the bass player. And I took them out and got them really stoned 5 minutes before the gig on the best weed that money can buy in New York State. And it was interesting. Everybody was blaming it on me for getting them stoned, but
yeah, that's your. If you give him drugs that you know are going to send him to the moon, that is your fault.
Yeah,
Joey Diaz. So when Joey Diaz used to dose people, there's some great stories. I think even Bert Kreischer's dad, like he had weed popcorn years ago, and he's like, "Here you go, Mr. Kreischer, have some of this, cocksucker,cker," and he's just eating it like popcorn.
Bert seems to be a victim of that a lot.
that went a lot further because there was a great episode of Legion of Skanks where because it's kind of like WWE, right? Yeah. But they did this great live version where they had elections and they hid people in cupboards and Ari Shaffir was pretending to. But they tried to dose Ari to get him back with acid on air.
Wow.
But he noticed and switched his drink with Big J.
How did he notice? That's good for him. I mean,
he said but it was all the whole setup was just to dose Ari, right? But he said he saw something floating on his beer. And he distracted people, and he was doing this and that. And then you see when they play it back, he switches beers with Big J, who drank it. And he was but Big J's got one of those things where he can't get high from psychedelics. It doesn't mushrooms or so it didn't send him to the moon or make him weird. It just made him really angry and sad that he got dosed.
Wow, I didn't know there was such a thing as you can't get high from psychedelics. Wow.
Well, I guess some people just don't have the metabolism or whatever you need to kick it in the same way that some people don't react well to weed or whatever. But maybe he's just not had the right ones. But he seemed to have a good dose in a beer. But that was a great episode. But yeah, there's been a lot of that. And then they did a Skank Fest. They did a roast of Louis J. Gomez and Kim Congdon, who is fucking hilarious. She was so good on this roast, but she did dose Ari again with acid at that when she sat next to him on the day. So it was just there's a lot of it going on, but it's just between the real psychos, so that it's kind of consent between them because they're all nutbags. But
yeah. Wow, that's cool. I've never been dosed. That I shouldn't say that. I think I was one time in college, but it was downers. Put me to sleep. Woke up with a gay guy trying to rub my crotch on my jeans.
I've always been the guy with the least experience with drugs. So I've always been, when I've taken them for the first time, there's always been people who fucking know what they're doing. So the first time I took MDMA was in a beautiful 15th century pub in my hometown that was used in 4 weddings and a funeral, Hugh Grant and stuff from the outside. In there was where I first took MDMA and spent the whole night upstairs in the manager's bedroom just looking at the lines on my hands for about 6 hours. Like, look at the lines. And then looking in the mirror and all that stuff. Great stuff. Great days they were. You could get a pill for £5 back in the day, and that was your night. Your whole night was. You don't need a drink. You have a couple of beers, but mainly water. And just fucking go to space.
You know, I was because the drummer who hadn't got high in 40 years when he was young, he was part of our little drug culture that we had in the 70s and early 80s, and I was bringing that up. Uppers. I told Mikey I needed some uppers. Get me some Yellow Crossroads, and then I started naming all the pills we used to do. He's like, "Man, you remember all that stuff?" I was like, "How?"
Keep talking. I can hear you. I just need to.
It was my life. Anyway, it was my life to know those drugs and the prices of them. I cost the prices. I don't even think anybody does uppers anymore, or they're not a thing. People sell uppers and downers. Yellow Crossroads, lemon, 697s, white elephants, which were they look like Black Beauties. Black Beauties were the super uppers, and the 697 white elephants were the counterpart to. They had black and white and red all over. I'm stuck on that joke. A joke I learned in first grade.
I'm sure everything's around. It's just where you are, and if you're in the community that's taking them, right? I'm sure everything's around still, apart from Quaaludes.
I wonder. That's a good. You know what? I would like to look that up and find out. Like Quaaludes were the big downers. I don't think that those are still in production anymore.
No, you can't get them. But people have found 30-year-old ones and tried to take them and stuff, but they won't work over this time. But it's people have also tried to replicate them here and there, but it's just not profitable. People don't really want them. The mood, basically, MDMA will always sell, whether it's in pill or powder. Always, coke will always sell, weed will always sell. The other stuff is less. Yeah, I think quite that kind of downer. I guess ketamine's pretty big though. To be fair.
I've never done any of those. I want to do. What's the one I want to do? DMT. That's the one I want.
Oh, for sure. But I want to take ayahuasca first and vomit and shit myself, and then have a 3-day. Well, you have to. You purge. So it's you're either going to vomit or you shit. And I know damn well that I'll be shitting myself in front of a hot hippie in Peru. That's what's going to happen.
Huh.
But with those ayahuasca ceremonies, it's from the same. This is like Joe Rogan education. It's from the same. It's the same as DMT, but it's metabolizes different because it's a drink, right?
But you have to throw up or shit. That's the part I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? First of all, yeah. In that episode, Ari also pretended to be high for like an hour. He's like, "Can anyone else see those lights?" And they were like, "We fucking got him." I forgot about that. Yeah. But he did this great. He did ayahuasca, right? And it was a really emotional thing. It was on Rogan. So you might have to bleep out Rogan stuff, but it was really emotional. So he went to wherever he was, Bolivia, and did a proper ceremony and all that. And he spoke to dead people that he knew, or people that he knew that died, including Mitzi Shore. And he said what he saw were these balls of light going up for hours and hours and hours. And he was asking, what are these balls of light? And the answer was, it's creativity. So stuff that you put into the world that's creative is a ball of light for everyone. And he was crying when he was telling the story. It's a really nice clip, actually. And he was like, I want to make balls of light that float up. So he was like,
Did he ask Mitzi Shore why she let Carlos Valencia bully him?
Well, I think she liked him. I think they just liked him. Carlos Valencia.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Carlos Mencia.
Mencia, yeah. Did I say Valencia?
Yeah. Well, I think the family liked him because he had the money in the pool back then, right?
Oh, yeah. So is that available on YouTube, or I gotta subscribe to Legion of Skanks to see that?
They put all their stuff on YouTube, but it's the YouTube versions are edited, and so you'll find it would have been an election night one, but I'm sure if you just Google Legion of Skanks, RE Acid, you'll find it. Yeah, they're all up in there. But when I come to New York, I'm going to try to go to a taping if they're in town, because it's on Monday nights at the stand. And I'll just try and sit in on a taping, because it's like a WWE wrestling occasion, and just proper chaos, which is what I would like to do a live version of this.
I haven't blocked Luis Gomez or anything, but I don't see his tweets anymore. It just occurred to me. I used to see him all the time. Maybe he's off Twitter. Do you see him?
Yeah, I see him, but not as much. So it could be just the algorithm, just not putting him in front of you. Yeah, I see him a bit less.
That's weird, because I used to see. Yeah, I think Musk changed stuff, because I'm seeing shit I don't want to see all over, and I'm not seeing any of the stuff I used to really want to see.
It's going to be a bit of a process of change, but I think if you interact, like any base algorithm, if you interact with stuff, you'll probably see that stuff. I would think that'll be at the core of it. So if you just but yeah, I've seen him a few times on there. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
I did find some new comedians on there recently, but mostly I'm just seeing a lot of fucking. Even though I'm blocked almost everybody I can think of that comes up with political stuff that agitates me. Like, I'm just blocking left and right, and anybody who's just like constantly tweeting political stuff out, I'm blocking them, and I'm still seeing more and more of them. It's like the new ones.
But it's still algorithm. If you think about it, you still do mention Republicans or like answer back or whatever. That all will feed into it, because it's going, oh, he likes talking about this stuff, and so it'll keep pushing it. Facebook was historically the worst one for it. It actually was. They got caught doing it. It's programmed to spread hate, essentially, right? They want people angry and hateful. So you put whatever makes you angry, that will pop up in your feed. So you can go, this piece of shit. And it's fucking insane. But it's made people.
So I'm gonna
substitute
the word Republicans or Democrats even for comedians. Anytime I want to say Republicans or Democrats, I'm just gonna say comedians.
Yeah, try see what happens.
Yeah, let's see if they.
On the whole, my Twitter feed's pretty good. I guess it's because I don't, on the whole, engage in beef or things that make me angry. So on the whole, it's musicians, comics, people that I just find funny, and people that support this stuff. So that's on the whole what it is. But I follow 5,000 people, which is fucking insane.
I did try and
unfollow a load the other.
I gotta look.
Yeah, I tried to unfollow a load the other day, and I did actually. But
I follow 1,065.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, when you look in your, I'll have to use a script or something, because when you look in your followers, it's from the most recent. So all the ones in the last 2 years are people I definitely want to follow for the most part. But there's probably people I followed in 2012, 2014, 2015 that I don't care about. But I can't be fucked to scroll down and find who they are. So,
you know what? I know almost. I'm looking at all these, and they're good follows. I like almost everybody I'm seeing so far. A lot of them have been guests on my show. That's why it's a
thousand's a good number, and I think 5,000 is too many. I mean, I've no idea who some of those are. I unfollowed a lot of the UFO crowd recently.
Old Grumpy Mama is probably about 100 down on my list. I don't really know her. I know she's a big follower of yours, a supporter of yours. She actually retweets my stuff all the time.
Yeah, she's been in here. She's very supportive. In fact, she helped me get my followers up on Twitch.
She's a Twitch streamer or something?
So she Twitch streams games. But in addition, she has a Discord where she plays movies and TV shows offline, not broadcast, just within a community. And everyone jumps into that. It's around about 9 or 10 Eastern, but it's 3 a.m. for me, so it's a bit late. They're doing a James Bond. But it's a really good hangout. I stayed up late a couple of times and watched it. She just plays. At the moment, they're doing a James Bond marathon, but they'll do TV shows, all this. It's a nice group of like 8 or 10 people to go and hang out in this Discord. And
what is FPS? She says, I stream FPS and other games.
I'm not sure. Oh, first-person shooter, maybe? It might be a type of game.
Oh. Yeah, she supports Brock, too. Look at this Red Fox that Brock did. I guess this was last night. I missed this one.
He did Randy Rhodes last night, I think. Unless he did another thing.
We did Red Fox 21 hours ago. Happy 100th anniversary to Red Fox.
Yeah, I was hammered.
100th birthday. Wow, I'm surprised he's only 100. That's because he was an old man when I was a little kid. Or I guess 40. He was in his 40s.
Brock's done some great stuff recently. He did the Addams Family in like a new sort of cartoon style. He's always trying new stuff.
Yeah.
Challenging himself. He's going to get, he will get quite big, I think, Brock. He's only been doing it a year. Right. But there's no reason why in another year, I think he'll double what he's got now. He's got well over 1,000 followers on Twitch.
Good for him. Now, when he does that, the room is like full of people, right? How many like watch live generally? Like 500 or something?
No, there's like a core of about 20 or 30. But if people raid, which is a really good feature on Twitch, so now I'm an affiliate, I can do it. So if you stream and then you see who else is online, you can raid into their channel. So you take you and the whole chat room into their channel, right? So people will see that he's on and raid in. So he gets like 70, 80 in there, but it's almost everyone's cool as shit. And there's been new people that we've met over the last month that have supported me now and subscribing to my Twitch and all that stuff. So it's cool. Great community.
I'm so old. I'm gonna be extinct soon. I mean, I like the fact that the world is changing for the better, and Twitch seems to be a better platform than YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I don't mean
Twitch is a great it's a great platform and a good community. The one thing when you become affiliate, which is when you get 50 followers, so the monetization's lower, which is great. And you do so many hours of streaming. When you hit affiliate, you can't multi-stream at the same time. So you can't go to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. People do, but if they catch you, they can strike you and all that stuff. So what I'm doing now is going exclusively to Twitch once or twice, and then 24 hours later, you can make that available on YouTube. You can basically stream it, but make it private on YouTube. And then the other one, I'll go to YouTube and Facebook and all the rest of it. Shit, but that's the only thing. But it's such a good community, and everyone's really supportive.
I have no idea how many followers I have on Twitch. Probably not a lot. I'm going to look right now. How do I see this? Profile, channel, I guess. Minddog TV. No, that doesn't give me any information. I don't know.
I'll tell you. I'll have a look. I'll go to my Twitch.
No, this can't be. This can't be right. This can't be right. It says 6.1K followers. There's no way. I've never had like 10 people on a stream.
Well, I mean, if you've got that, you should just stream over there for a little bit and get your affiliate status. But then you'd have to, if you do YouTube, you'd have to stop pumping it to Twitch. You've got 6,000 followers on Twitch.
That's impossible. There got to be bots or something. They're not. I stopped doing it about 6 months ago because I only had like 5 people, on a good day on there. That's really weird. I don't know how this shit works.
Oh yeah, so Lipsky went after Brock last night on Twitter about something.
Oh,
and, Brock. I woke up drunk, and there was a massive thread beef between Brock and Lipsky, which is great. Brock fucking flamethrowed him. He lost everything that come back.
Yeah. Brett Brock is like he's probably a professional. He is definitely a professional dueler of words. I would not, and Lipsky isn't. I don't want to bash Lipsky because it would seem like I'm just giving it back because I know he doesn't like me. It's not that. I think Lipsky is an angry person. He walks around looking for things to get and people to get angry at, and wants to be not friends with anybody. He tries. He takes people worse.
He's trolling and antagonizing. Now he has been cool with me, and I don't know why. I don't mind, but he's been a dick to Christina in the chat. He's been a dick to Brock now. He does try it on, but I don't really. I won't stand for any of that shit. But I also can't be fucked to flamethrow him. When we had him on our podcast, we actually had a nice conversation with him. He was really fucking nervous and anxious talking about his films and all that. And Brock said last night your movies are shit or whatever. But it was an interesting discussion, and he is into film and he's passionate about it. Whatever the product is whatever the product is. But yeah, he's got, again, I'm not going to bash him, but he's got issues, I think.
He definitely has anger issues with the world. I'm seeing a lot of that in people that I come across now. A certain musician that I know, he's always making enemies, and I think if that's the case, you got to look at yourself and say it can't be everybody. It can't be the whole world is looking for a fight. Maybe it's me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I think he knows that. I think one of his tweets last night was basically, I know, I don't care about. And Brett was like, that's why you're so successful then. And then he's like, I don't care about success. I just want to do what I want to do. And, that's obviously not true. If you dig into there, I think he probably does want his films to be successful and watched and funded and all that. But it's weird. It's a self-sabotage anger thing. And listen, maybe he was fucking fingered as a kid. Who knows? It probably comes from something.
Apparently, he had, because when I had him on, he was talking about being a meth head at a very young age and whatever. But anyway,
that's how it started. That's how it started. I forgot because it started from my tweet because I was so drunk. So I tweeted, "Come and support Brock. Look at Randy Rhoads," and he said, "Twitch sounds like whatever." He goes, "A platform that no one's heard of." And Brock says, "Actually, there's 8 million people on it. I do quite well. There's a nice community. why don't you talk about your movies on there? That's how it started, wasn't it? And then he's like, fuck, fuck this, fuck you. Okay,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know what?
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't heard of Twitch, but I think a lot more people do. And I think the people who have are far more engaged than the average YouTuber. Because there are people who go, YouTube.
Yeah, I've got into it.
Yeah.
Go on.
I've
got into
it. Just builds engagement better than the older platforms.
It's really supportive, and even things like emotes, right? Like emojis. But you can make all your own ones. So I've got one of a beer that says cheers and one of me. But you get like rewards for people watching, like channel points. So I can now have channel points, and people can redeem them and make me do shit, right? So it's really interactive. It's really supportive. There's a bunch of people I like just to watch play a game for an hour on there. They're interesting people. I don't know. It's a better platform than YouTube. YouTube needs to fucking step up a little bit. I think they're obviously a conglomerate. It's Google, right?
Right.
But they need to adapt a little bit.
They more following the Facebook, Instagram mode with the introduction of shorts and all that kind of stuff. And I think this is the end of humanity, because once, and it's already happened, the media companies figure out that short attention span theater can be exploited and used to manipulate people to want shorter content. We're just going to get down to eventually all entertainment or knowledge videos being shared in 2 seconds to 10-second clips. Eventually,
I think that's a bit. I don't think that will happen, but I think yes, the proliferation with younger generation. I also like TikTok now. If I pick up TikTok, that's an hour gone.
Right, that's what I mean. They know you're addicted to it.
The TikTok live. I just watch people make fucking sausage rolls. There's a girl that sells vinyl in London. Whatever it is, it's interesting though. There's DJs on there doing DJ sets. When I wake up on a Saturday, I'll go to a DJ, and it's a good community. You need to get 1,000 followers to go live, but I could see me doing that as well. Like, just people are interested in anything. There's people driving around and just put the phone camera out the windscreen. And they get 1,000 views or whatever. It's insane, but you can't monetize Twitch directly, TikTok. But what you can do is then go point them to your whatever channel, so you can get those followers in from doing whatever, and then try and funnel some of them over to YouTube or Twitch and whatnot.
No, you're absolutely right. I was disrespectful to TikTok when I said Facebook and Instagram. They stole the model from TikTok.
Yeah, because they panicked. They saw TikTok and went, "Well, we need to do it." Yeah. And I know you've been on a Musk rant. I don't really have such emotion about it, but what I think he will do with Twitter, and I think he did tweet about this. I think he'll try and turn it into an everything app, and he did one tweet about it when he took it over. Now, what I think he'll do, he'll have a video platform on Twitch. He'll monetize content, have creators and all that. You'll have the text, which is Twitter. I think he'll go into images. So basically, he'll try and take on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's what I think it will become over the 5 years or whatever. And I
know that's his intent. I remember, and I know very well. He said he wanted to make it compete with YouTube.
And do you know what? As emotional as it all is, and as mad as he gets, if he makes a good video part of Twitter and monetizes it and makes it a low threshold to do it, I'm not going to be mad at it. The thing that's annoying about the subscription service, I don't want a blue tick from a subscription, right? There's already been a premium Twitter where you get better features, and that would be a good. I might consider paying money if I have a good creator suite or whatever, and be able to monetize. Right? I do it on YouTube, I do it on Spotify, or whatever. But I don't want a blue check for paying, because then it makes weirdos go, "I'm fucking verified, bitch." You know, it's that, and verification was only ever. It wasn't about even celebrity status. It's about you're the real account. So even if you're an academic that publishes a paper, this is the real me, not the other guy pretending to be me. That's what. That's this, and that verification on fucking dating apps and every app you can possibly get kind of means that you verified your identity.
Absolutely, I could pay to be verified as Nate Kelp. And that
Yeah.
I am the real Nate
And
Kelly.
I've seen people pay for their blue tick, and it's benefiting them. It is. People will meme them for a while and go, "This motherfucker paid for Twitter or whatever. You're an Elon dick rider," but they're probably getting a good benefit from it. But I just wish they'd just make it a purple, a yellow tick if you've paid for. Make it something else. I'm a subscriber.
Yeah.
Right. And the blue tick should be what it is. So but yeah,
yellow,
whatever it is, man, whatever it is. I'm liking these. I'm drinking Brooklyn Pilsner.
Now, do you have a Brooklyn over there, or no?
No,
because we steal all the names in New York were stolen from Britain anyway.
I don't think we do. We might have. If we do, it'll be a tiny little fishing village somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't like Boston. We have a Boston which I didn't know about, and it's a shitty little village somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But it's not a big city. But I never twigged after knowing about all that stuff. I never twigged that New York was York. I never, because York here it's up this way. It's like 2 hours away. It's a beautiful old historic town, right? Cathedrals. I never twigged after all these years that New York was one that you took. New York. I never.
Well, I live in Suffolk. There's a Suffolk over there, right? And there's
it's a Suffolk. Suffolk is a county, and there's
Suffolk is a county here too.
We have a Hampshire, which is a county. You have New Hampshire. We have Southampton was a city I lived in. I know you have but that's where the Titanic sailed from. I lived in Southampton
too. It's a city I lived in.
Yeah, Southampton is where the Titanic sailed from, right? So it's quite famous for that. But I lived there for 9 years.
It's actually more famous for the Ballad of John and Yoko, standing at the dock at Southampton.
Trying to get to Holland or France. Yeah. It's a great song, like that's a great song.
Yeah.
People fuck with Yoko, but she basically wrote Imagine, which I didn't know.
I know that.
I didn't know that until I saw the documentary. It's like, now, John, say that you fucking imagine all the people. It was her creativity. And I think that Get Back thing actually made me warm to Yoko a little bit, because it was like, oh, he's in love with her. And she's in the studio, and that's weird. What you do, that kind of stuff. But she wasn't the reason they split. They split because they just got sick of each other.
But also, Linda came to the studio a lot with the kids. So, I mean, nobody gave them shit about that. A lot of it had to do with Yoko being fucking batshit crazy Japanese, where she would do all these weird screaming things as art that the West could not appreciate in any way. Like, what the fuck is that shit? But
one of my favorite things is the Bill Burr breakdown, and they do the animation over the top or the slideshow. Have you seen it?
No.
It's great. It's where he talks about he's playing with Chuck Berry, and it's his hero, Chuck Berry. And they're finally on stage playing a song, and Yoko's playing a drum, and she takes the mic off the drum and just starts going, yeah. And Bill Burr breaks it down beautifully. He's just like, this motherfucker. And he goes, what John should have done. You want your moment? Here's your fucking moment. You ever do a thing like that, I'm gonna punch you so fucking hard, your eyes are gonna look like mine. But the way they animate it, you ever date a girl that's a fucking psycho? The way they animate this is so good. I'll send you the link.
Oh yeah, I think now that you mention it, I'm having flashbacks.
But they play the video over it, and they do little slideshow and animation.
Yeah.
It's just really well done.
I think that was on the Mike Douglas show. I played with Chuck when I was 19 years old.
Wow.
I played bass.
How old was Chuck then?
Oh, he was old. I don't know how. And he basically, we were hired. He didn't know us. We were
43 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Which is what, 70? Are we in 70?
79?
9?
Yeah, 79, somewhere around there. 78,
see how old Chuck Berry was. Chuck Berry, singer-songwriter. Born 1926, so he was 53.
Yeah. And he was grumpy as hell. He came in and played 3 songs and got paid like $2,000. And we were there to play 4 hours, and we got paid $50 each. But he came in and it was abusive to the he was angry, and he didn't even bother telling us like what key, because he would change his keys all the time. or then he was. Like the songs he was playing were not in the keys that he recorded them in. So we had to learn every Chuck Berry song, and then he would decide at the moment what he wanted to play.
Well, I mean, he's Chuck Berry, though.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
No,
Like...
he wasn't then. At that point, you know, he was very. He wasn't respected by the rock crowd of the 1970s.
He was probably angry that the footage didn't come out for the latest toilet video that he'd recorded or whatever he was doing back then. Yeah. Wasn't he filming girls in the toilet and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
With the camera,
yeah. So yeah, but it was an experience, and for us, it was like a resume piece, you know, to say, "Wow, I played with Chuck Berry." But then he was touring the country, and he was just using schmoes from everybody, and didn't care.
Yeah, but still, come on now, it's still pretty fucking cool. Even if he was a dick, even if it was shit.
For us, it was cool. It was something we talked about for 6 months, like it was we had just won the Grammy for best album or something.
You're around a legend, man. Even if he had only released Johnny Be Good. That's enough to be a legend, isn't it? If that's the only thing that he did.
Right.
Come on.
Hello, Grumpy Mama. I was speaking about you before, and not in a bad way.
He called you the devil. He called you the Yoko of YouTube.
I did. I'm sorry. No, I don't know enough about to call you the Yoko of YouTube.
I always love the better version for Johnny Be Good for me is the Back to the Future version. That whoever played that, I know. Michael J. Fox learned the fingering for it,
right?
So he could do it and then he did the Jam, the Who, all the duck walks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he invented rock and roll in that movie, right?
Yeah.
But that version is fucking phenomenal. I think now it's in B flat, the original one. This is in B,
right?
So it's like major, because he said it's a blues riff in B. Try and catch up. But that version of Johnny B. Good, the solo, in my opinion, it's a pretty comparable version to Chuck Berry.
It is. Good. You know what? I've never. I shouldn't say I never. Back in that day, I went through the trouble of learning the solo, but I never play that solo. And to your point, nobody plays it in B flat. Most people play it in A because it's more convenient to play it in A. But I think
I would love. Cause I learned the intro riff. Cause I'm going to start playing guitar again now. I'm set up. I'm going to get guitars and all that. I miss it. I've lost all the fucking bullshit on my fingers though. It's all gone. So and now it's going to hurt playing. But I'll get them set up right, low action, all that. But I miss playing. Cause I played for a long time, but I was never really played in a band that confident and all that. But I like playing around the house. I like picking up a guitar and playing a song that I like. That's what I like. But that I would love to be able to play that Back to the Future version, Johnny Be Good.
Yeah, I think he did it in B for the vocal because he wanted the key higher because his voice is higher than Chuck's. That's why.
But it's a great. But yeah, the actor learned all the fingering for it for weeks. He studied it so he could mime it for the shots, basically.
And we talk about guitar, my hand starts hurting. I have severe ligamentitis in my hand for about 10 years now, and it just always in pain.
That's bad. It's sad. It's sad. Whatever you think of Clapton, it always made me sad when he said I can't play anymore. It's man, his arthritis was so bad he couldn't play a chord anymore. It's like fuck. That's his life, isn't it? You invest your whole fucking everything. It's just.
It's funny. I think if he just went for it, he probably could because I have ligamentitis and it's really bad. But
some people get this shit.
I get that. Yeah,
move it right.
Yeah, and I get it in both hands because this hand I have a lot of nerve damage. But generally, when I'm finger picking, because I can't even feel my fingers anymore. But sometimes they just lock up and I get like. But generally, this hand doesn't bother me while I'm playing. It's only after I'm playing and before I'm playing. And
I like playing acoustic without a pick. I like strumming. I prefer playing.
Me too.
Without a pick,
I never play with a pick at home. When I just grab my acoustic guitar, I never ever use a pick. It's just
I'd love to play. I just want to get a nice acoustic, a nice electric, and then a nice just a basic pedal setup. A little bit of delay, a little bit of whatever, a little distortion. But you can get Jamie's son, when I went around there, you get such good amp modelers now. You get a little box. You can just model all the Marshalls, and then you can set all the all your programs to mock up songs and stuff. It's such a fucking different world, even from 10 years ago.
That's what Kelso uses, and he sounds like anybody he wants to
he
sound
sounds
like.
Great, yeah.
He's a fucking killer player.
I follow him on there now. Is that Konopka's mate?
Huh?
Will they have a lot of? Is that the guy that Konopka has a lot of back?
Yeah. He's Bill Kelso. Bill Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelso. Yeah, no,
I follow him now.
He's a phenomenal player in a lot of different genres, and so he's a pretty good guy to follow. Definitely to see his little clips. I'd like to see him a little longer. Do the whole song. He always just does like the solo part. Or
Has
something.
he got a YouTube or something though? I don't know. I just see the tweets. I guess. Yeah, I should look into it. There's by the way, there's some great guitarists on TikTok as well doing live. There's some really good musicians on there. I follow a lot of street performers, buskers. There's an organist who shows what she does with her feet underneath. It's just like a church.
Do you know the Dwellers? Dwellers, they're London-based street performers. They're fucking phenomenal.
No,
but now I think they broke up. Somebody, my friend Carl from the UK, turned me on to them. But man, they're really, and they sing and dance. They, and put on a show. I think they're brothers or something, but they split up because they hate each other now. And now,
it happens. Happens. Most bands fucking hate each other after a few years, right? It's just the way it is. So tonight I'm excited. I'm going to see. The reason I'm going to this gig is because of an artist called Ruby J, who I've been kind of like Twitter friends with the promoter for years, and she now manages a band called The Rock. She'd be a great guest on your show, but please let me get her first, and then I'll throw her over to you. Sam and Ruby J. But she's got a phenomenal voice. So if you look up some of her stuff on Spotify, she's kind of like, not Amy Winehousey, but she's got a really unique sound. She just plays acoustic guitar a lot of the time. So I'm going to see her. She's on stage in like an hour. So I'm going to leave here in like 20 minutes.
Good for you.
Venue.
Get out and support local music, folks.
The good thing about Manchester is everyone plays here. This is a mecca of music. Everybody plays here, big, small, whatever. So I don't have to travel anywhere now. I'm just going to wait till they come here.
So what's the population of Manchester? I mean, roughly.
I don't know. It's the second largest city. So, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't hear more about it. As you're saying, it seems like a cultural hub.
500,000, 553,000.
That's not huge at all.
No, but for the UK, it is.
Yeah, it's like what city? That's like a Cincinnati now. Yeah, like a Cincinnati has about 500.
Well, London's about 10 million, and that's our biggest city. So it's
that's a huge drop off to the second biggest city from 10 million to half a million.
You're right. It's pretty small. But we've got the greater area as well. So the city centre, I can walk to there's a really cool area called the Northern Quarter, and that's where I'm going tonight. It's 30 minutes walk, but I'm going to get an Uber, I think, up there, if I can. And they're going to play the football at the venue in between acts as well, because obviously it's a big conflict because we got to the next round. So they're like, will we go? So they're going to do Ruby J, another act, and then play the whole football match, and then the headliner's going to come on. So it's going to be a big fucking event tonight.
What time will you get home?
Look at my tweets. Whatever happens on Twitter in 6 when I'm fighting with Ken Harris again on Twitter at fucking 11 o'clock.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Just look out for the chaos. I'm getting there now. I'm going to leave I'm going to order an Uber in like 15 minutes and get up there. She's on stage in an hour and 7. It's so great living so close to places.
Do they stick to the schedule? Because nobody does here.
They will tonight because of the football. Because they have to. Because they got to hit it and then stop the second act and then the match is going to start. Most comedy or music will always start 5-10 minutes late, but pretty close though.
Yeah, nobody even comes close to starting on time here. Stanhope did. Stanhope was pretty close to on time. I think it was like 20 minutes after 8. He was supposed to start at 8. But everybody else starts real late.
Well, a lot of our clubs have strict rules, Fuck the artist. You're starting then. If you don't get on stage, you can't go later. So
now that's weird. You went that way and came back from that way. That's a weird thing mentally.
I'm on a really small circular table here. I'll show you. Look, there's my. It's just look.
Oh yeah.
There's my beer. The kitchen's there. Little studio, but it's a nice place I'm in. I like it. And this is location B in this apartment. Location A is the old lady's bedroom, as Hack named it. But I've got a location C here, which is sofas and little tables. So I want to do in-person stuff. We're going to be on there, and eventually I'm going to have a couple of cameras and a video switcher, and have like live shit going on. So that's the plan for next year.
I do like the plant with the sun coming through it. It makes you feel kind of tropical.
Yeah, I like it too. That's why I come in here at the weekend, and also because the fridge is right there.
Right. Is that plant responding to you?
It might be, but it's a prayer plant. So at night it's supposed to go like this, but it's too heavy and big, so I'm gonna have to tie it up or whatnot.
I had a girlfriend who she said plants always died around her, and I found that to be true. That when
I think this is dying around me, so I think I need to research how to water it and when.
Yeah. I put a line in a song about her after we broke up. I said that house plant that came back to life, it shriveled up and died again, because when I was living with her, plants thrived. But as soon as I
when I'm with you, I never wanted more. My sweet, sweet leafy whore. Could be in the bridge.
Yeah. Old Grumpy Mama's a drummer, eh?
500K.
In KC.
So it's similar to KC, yeah. Weird.
Well, KC's probably more spread out, I think.
Oh yeah, bigger area. It's a small area. I can walk the city in 30 minutes, pretty much the city centre. And then, but we have Greater Manchester, which I'm officially in because I'm literally 1 foot into Greater Manchester.
How far is Manchester from London?
I drove like 200 miles from Reading, so it's a couple of 100 miles, I'd say.
Okay, now why? I'm interviewing you. What made you decide to move to Manchester?
Comedy.
Oh,
that's it.
Easy.
So I was at Edinburgh with my good friend Dave Flynn, who's coming here next weekend, and my rent for comedians crashing here instead of driving home is the podcast. I'll tell him next week. We were in Edinburgh drunk, and I was thinking everywhere I went, I was thinking, well, shall I move here? Shall I move there? And he just said Manchester. Go to Manchester. I think this is the best city for comedy in the UK. You can argue London, but it's also full of fucking idiots. And the lower level scene, which is what I'm trying to poke through, is full of fucking.
What about Glasgow?
Bringers, safe
Glasgow?
spaces.
No, Glasgow.
Glasgow's good. Edinburgh's good, but they're small. They are small. So there's only a limit. But here, everyone comes here. We have a comedy store, and it's 50 yards from this apartment. I didn't even know.
Wow.
It's there. I walk out, and it's to the right. My aim is to get on there in the next couple of years, but it's a good city. So my plan is there's like 25 venues that do comedy. We're an hour from Liverpool, and for the next step of getting seen, there's a club in Liverpool that I can do in January. I'm doing a gig Monday. My plan is to spend 6 months here, wriggle around, and then I'm going to set up my own night and I'm going to run my own show. And I'm going to pay people. So I need to find a venue. I need to get a budget and all that stuff. So that's the plan. But when you run a comedy night, everyone's your friend. Everyone, because they want a gig. That's the plan.
Well, then I should probably move there and just run comedy nights and be everybody's friend.
Yeah, when I post the first advert for whatever I do, I'll get 100 DMs immediately.
I'm gonna bring Travis Lipsky with me. Me and him are gonna be.
Okay, yeah, he can go.
Matt
first.
And Travis Comedy Productions, and we'll both have lots of friends then.
I think Travis might lose them after about 5 minutes.
Right. Well, we had a big contingent of friends come down for holidays last night and be sitting at a table, and the band went and sat with them, and I went, "No, I'll sit over here by myself."
Yeah.
I'm an antisocial scumbag, actually. It turns out.
Yeah, I've been that way. I'm here. I want to live here for a number of years. I want to be settled here, and I think I'm going to try and get a community. I'm going to try and make friends. I'm going to try and fucking meet people. Comedy will take care of itself. I'll meet friends that I like and comics that I like and ones that hate me and I hate them, whatever. That'll take care of itself. But I want to actually, I don't know, join some little groups, and I'm feeling a bit social, I think, which is weird.
Nice.
For me. We'll see what happens. I'll probably get shot. So here, again, I've been listening to a podcast called Anything Goes. half a mile from here used to be a no-go area. No, they get shot. Half a mile from there is still a no-go area. So south, there's an area called Moss Side in Manchester. It's just drug gangs. It's just people shooting each other in the fucking spine. So you think there's no guns in England? There are, and a lot of them are in Manchester. There's a lot of import-export goes on in this city, I think.
Reminds me of a Billy Joel song that nobody knows about called Half a Mile Away. My other world is just a half a mile away. And there used to be lots of that. I don't know if in our urban areas, I'm sure we have that. Like just you move a couple of blocks and everything changes. The whole world changes. Yeah.
Even Cardiff it's an all right city, but all the surrounding satellite areas, 10 minutes walk, were rougher. They were just noticeably rougher. It's weird, but yeah, I feel pretty safe here. This is pretty quiet. There's a lot of skyscrapers going up around me, the new modern apartments, all that shit, offices, and the city is literally. There's some great bars right here, and then if I go around the corner for 10 minutes, I'm in the city. It's just there, but it's just a good. It's the best location I can get living in the city centre. The reason I'm in the city centre is just literally access to gigs. I can just get anywhere immediately, and there's a train thing next to me that goes to Liverpool, so it's perfect.
Good for you. You're living the dream. You're living the life of a.
I'm concerned because everything is too perfect. I really love this place. I love the location, positivity. The future's bright. I'm concerned. This is the time I get hit by a truck.
No, this is what's going to happen. You're gonna meet some girl. You're gonna take her to bed her or whatever, and then you're gonna wake up and she's gonna be on top of you with a knife like this. And that will be your last sight.
Right. I'll finally get the best pussy available around here, and she'll kill me.
Yes, I'm sorry.
But, I might take it. People have worse lives.
No, yeah. That if you're gonna go, and you are gonna go eventually, then why not go that way? I don't know.
Well, John Entwistle, the bass player from The Who, went out in a hotel room in his 50s with 2 hookers. I mean, he might have had a little bit of pain in the last moments, but I bet it was a fucking good night.
Yeah, good for him. Definitely.
Where he's like thumbing in his softie, doing a line. There's tits everywhere, and then and he's in The Who.
Right.
He's been in The Who for 40 years, and then he just had a heart attack.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. I got a friend who's really pissed at Roger Daltrey. He actually used to be friends with Roger Daltrey, and now he hates his guts.
Well, he's an anti-vaxxer, COVID deny guy now. But all those, I don't get mad at them though. They're old and they're uneducated. My parents are a bit fucking racist and weird, but I still love them. They're just old, and they didn't really find too much out about the world. So of course you are. Of course you're a bit fucking racist.
He's mad at Roger Daltrey because Roger Daltrey stands on cigarette smoking. Somebody lit up a cigarette at a show, and he refused to go on with the show until that person was kicked out.
That's crazy. But with people like Daltrey and Jagger, they're clean health freaks. People think they're these crazy rock stars.
I know.
No, Jagger was into yoga and green tea in the fucking 60s.
I know.
That's why he can still dance now in his 80s.
Yeah.
Richards did the partying, and Pete Townsend or Keith Moon from The Who did the partying. That's why Keith Moon died in the 70s.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. You want to look at a rock and roll legend? Keith Moon was the guy who drove Rolls Royces into swimming pools.
No, I know. He would
TV out windows.
He taught Joe Walsh how to trash the hotel rooms.
Yeah, and when Oasis came along, Liam Gallagher threw TVs out hotel windows because of that.
Right.
It's like that's where the fucking TV goes. I'm a rock and roll star,
Yeah, he was dating the Exorcist, the girl from the Exorcist, Linda Blair.
She had some fucking
when he
problems,
died,
right? She still had some problems. I had we had a music magazine called Q, I think, and they did a great spread on Keith Moon. Probably 20 years ago now, but it was literally all the stories from his friends, all what happened around it, and he was like Animal on the drums, wasn't he? He was just fucking.
Yeah. I remember several years ago, my friend was starting a band, and he needed somebody to man the drums while they look for a drummer, and they were playing Behind Blue Eyes, and I came in, I sat in with them, and I knew the part. I learned the part exactly like me, and they were cracking up because they've never seen anybody actually sit there and study every single Moon riff and play it, and it was like I was obsessed with because it's so good. It's so weird. His drum style was so weird that sometimes he would just play, where most guys would just concentrate on playing a beat during his part, he'd just be taking a drum solo behind everything. And he does that a little bit in Behind Blue Eyes, if you ever listen to the drum part. I'm sure old Grumpy Mama knows this now. Because...
Yeah, and there's a great episode of Louis, the TV show, where he teaches his daughter, or they play "Who Are You" for his kids, and he's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Fucking. But you forget. I mean, why forget about the Who? And it's the epitome of British music. The Who.
Yeah.
Townsend was a fucking genius. And there's part of me that thinks he was researching a book about Kiddie Paul, There's a part of me thinking he was kind of a weird guy. He's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking do a book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? For a relatively small country that the UK is, as far as population,
look at the
them
music.
and Australia, I would say
music, bitch.
Those two countries for population have the greatest influence on modern music and the most just awesome. A lot of people think, in America you get this whole rah we're number one, but if you look at our population to the number of really super talented,
I'm gonna put the UK up there against Australia or any other fucking place. Manchester, where I am, this is hub of music. Liverpool, I've said the Beatles, but as I said before, there was a rave club called the Hacienda in the 80s, and now there's apartments on it, and the apartments are called Hacienda, and it is 100 yards from me, and that is where the Stone Roses, Oasis, Happy Mondays, all those guys, and there's some artists you need to look up, Stone Roses and Happy Mondays. They went fucking taking pills there, and that's where they all met and made the bands and all that stuff. Manchester and Liverpool were probably the Northwest. I think it's because it's depressing. It was industrial. It was dreary. No one cares about it nationally. They care about London. It's changing. That's changing. But back in the 80s and 90s, yeah, this was a depressing place. And that's why those music come out of it. They had nothing. Poor people. It's raining all the fucking time. Let's write a song. That's basically where all the art came from. And yeah, for a small place, the amount of bands come out of here that are good.
So the lesson, children, if you want to be a great artist, move to some place that really sucks.
Yeah. But it's all changed now. Even someone that sucks has got a trendy coffee shop you can go and write in. It's different now. It's not. There's always poor housing estates and stuff, and art will come out of that. But yeah, everywhere's got I've literally got a trendy coffee shop below this apartment that just sell beans and shit. So that's why I'm going to go and write like a fucking yuppie. Yeah, Sean Ryder. Doug, look up Happy Mondays. There's a song called Step On. There's also a band called Gomez that did a song called Whipping Piccadilly about Manchester. Stone Roses. That influenced the Oasis and stuff. There's a song called Sally Cinnamon and Fool's Gold. 10-story love song. That's Manchester, and that's fucking, it all speaks to me. So I was playing. I walk around this place, listen to Whipping Piccadilly by Gomez, which they're a 90s indie band, but they were this is a cool tune about Manchester. So yeah, I need to educate you about music. I'll send you some stuff.
Now, I know you're gonna cut off soon, but because while we're on this subject, educate me. I think I hear what you're saying, and I agree that the music scene over there and the bands are incredible influences in music. Who would be the Bob Dylan of England, like the folk singers, songwriter who changed things in it for England? Is there one?
It's a good question. I mean,
I've stumped the band, ladies and gentlemen. What do I win?
No, I'm going to check. I'm going to check where someone. I'm going to check where someone was born. What about Cat Stevens?
Cat Stevens, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was just checking that he was British. I'm pretty sure he was.
I should know that because I was Cat Stevens
Father and
at one
Son,
point in
come
my
on
life.
now, what a tune that is.
No, in college I was a Cat. I think I've said this, and people find it hard to believe. When I was in college, I was a Cat Stevens impersonator. First tribute, even before there were Elvis tributes, I was a Cat Stevens tribute.
You are young, that's your fault.
Yeah,
Fucking quality song.
they called me
But
Matt the Cat.
me being a 90s kid in terms of music, I will put for the cultural impact. Noel Gallagher probably wrote 500 songs. 50 to 100 of them are fucking bangers, and I think they will always be played. There's songs that you've never heard by those guys. What they did when they released a single, they put 4 songs on it. So it's like an EP, right? Every time they put a single out, there were 4 songs. So it's like a mini album. And those B-sides to those singles, like Wonderwall or whatever, some of those B-sides, there's a B-side to Wonderwall called The Master Plan, which in my opinion is one of the best songs they ever wrote. It's outrageously good. Half the World Away was a B-side to whatever. I've got a vinyl album that I brought in the 90s that I've never taken out of its box.
Wow.
Called The Master Plan, which is an album with all the B-sides. And there's so much depth in there. There's so much nice little nooks and crannies in that catalogue that never get played anywhere. But I would say they probably wrote 500 songs as Oasis, put out a fraction of that, whatever. And Paul Weller, I would say, is an artist as well. So Weller, at 17, 18, was in a band called The Jam, going underground, town called Malice. He then went into a weird soul band called the Style Council. And there's great political songs like Walls Come Tumbling Down. Then he did his solo work, which he's now been doing for 33 years. He's fucking in his 60s now. Yeah. If you go and see Paul Weller live, you can have a band in their 20s that open for him. He will blow them off the fucking stage when he comes on. He's got so much energy. He can play really good guitar.
I've seen him
live.
I've seen him in New York City maybe 10 years ago, maybe.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's great. He released an album right before COVID. I actually didn't like. He puts out an album every year, by the way, and always changes his style. Constantly evolving as an artist. He put out an album right before COVID. Couldn't tour it because of COVID. I actually didn't like the album. Whatever. So what he did, we went, I'm going to write another album then. And during COVID, he wrote another album. It's called Fat Pop. And it's fucking great. And he does duets with female singers and stuff. And it is an absolutely great album. It's one of those things that's an album that you want to listen from start to finish. And I do about once a week. It's about 40 minutes long, the whole album. All like 3-minute songs. And he's 60 odd and putting out music that is pissing all over most things that up and coming bands should be doing. They should, a band who's 21 should be doing this stuff. A 60-year-old is still embarrassing you. And that's an impressive artist.
Yeah. Yeah, the guys I got high last night were 60.
There we go.
It was funny to see. I was laughing because I felt a little mischievous about getting them high. But I definitely peer pressured them into doing it. They didn't want to do it. Neither of them wanted to do it. But
fuck it. I'm going to push this gig. I'm going to have one more beer and then I'm going to get an Uber. Because I've just checked. There's 10 Ubers right around me. Oh, fuck me in the ass.
You get an Uber, eh?
I just got to clean this up.
Now, how do you get an Uber? Yeah. You got to call them. You got to go on an app. I've never gotten an Uber. I've never been Ubered.
App. The price is agreed before you order it. You guess £9, please. They can't change it. It's agreed. It's safe. You know their identity. They know yours. You're linked to your Facebook or whatever. Much safer than cabs. Fuck yellow taxis and fuck black cabs in London. If you're going to charge too much money for what you do, I've got a bit more sympathy for yellow cabs because they've got to pay $250,000 to get a license or whatever it is. But fuck it. If you don't adapt and evolve, that's your problem. And I don't want to get in a car that costs 3 times as much just because you know every street. Why do you need to know every street? Now everyone uses Waze or whatever. And you can track everything, the route. You have to be fully licensed, so it's safe. You have to have a criminal check, all that. In America, I think it's a bit more lax. But I discovered
No,
Uber in LA.
You could be Charles Manson's child.
I got in a yellow cab at LAX. No, and they charged me like twice as much. And one from the Comedy Store to Venice, which is about 20 miles, but they fucking charged me $110. The guy was foreign and he pretended he didn't know where he was. He goes, I have sat nav. You know how to use sat nav? I'm in the back fuming. I kind of knew where I was, but I didn't know exactly. It's my first night in the city. So this guy fucked me. And there was a big part of me that wasn't going to pay him, but I thought, I'm in LA. He might have a gun in the dashboard. So I threw the money at him. I threw the $100 and said, you're shit at your job, and got out. And then I found Uber, and that was the first time. And they were half priced of the yellow cabs. They were on time. The personalities were great. Pumpkin patch, I got a motherfucking pumpkin. You know, I met a lot of good people in the Uber.
I think the last time I rode in like a car that was driven by a professional was in Vegas 10 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not really I'm not a day-to-day driver. I've always lived and worked or did whatever within walking distance. So I get public transport a lot because I can't drive tired. I drove that van 200 miles and nearly died 3 times last week. I'm always drinking as well when I'm out. So it's like I'd rather get transport, and the transport links are pretty good and it's small, so it's different.
I should because driving will kill me. Driving is what's gonna kill me. The stress and the anger I feel behind the wheel is the only time I'm like really not happy in life is when I'm driving. I hate it.
I love the act of driving, but I'm not as experienced as I should be because I've always lived close to where I need to be, and the train and whatever is handy for me. It's handy. I can nap. I can't do that. I found that out when I was driving the van. I had to shake myself awake 3 times. I fucking don't fall asleep.
Yeah. Norm Macdonald never drove. He had a paranoia about driving. I don't know.
I enjoy it, and actually, I was surprised. Yeah, I can drive, and I'm a pretty good driver. I'm a pretty safe driver.
But I love it on an open road where there's no other traffic. Like in the middle of America, where you can just drive long straightaways and just let your mind go. I love that experience.
Yeah. So when this Panamint thing come up a few months ago, that was when I was supposed to come out. The only way I could have got there was by getting a car. I wouldn't have done it because I've never driven on the right-hand side of the road, and I've never, it'll be weird. I'll have to I'd only do it if someone like Hack. I don't know if Hack drives when he's out there, but I'd only do it if I had someone with me because it would fuck. Obviously, I'm on the reverse side. It's like it would completely fuck everything.
Yeah, I know. I wonder why that is. Why did we do that? Two countries. I mean,
everyone else drives on the right. I think it was something to do. I think to do with height being held up on a stagecoach. I think it was something to do with where the driver and the side their drum pat. It was some weird, stupid rule from like the 1200s, and it's like, oh no, we're going to go on this side, and everywhere else is everywhere's on the right. Europe is on the right for the most part. I don't know about Denmark, Chrissy, but France certainly is. US, and we only have we have automatics now. But Kevin said to me, "I'll be able to stick shift." Yeah, we all learn to drive with gears, which is what I like because you get a lot of control. You can drop it down and hit the fucking thing. I've never driven an automatic. I'd be worried about it. I don't know. Is this?
Yeah.
But for the most part, your cars are auto, right?
Yeah, now I think very few people even know how to drive a stick anymore in America. That's weird.
And in movies, it always surprised me you had a stick shift on the steering wheel, like.
Yeah, yes. A couple of days ago, we were talking about Nazis, and I think you brought up the VW Beetle. Somebody did. And
yeah, well, Hitler came up with the idea, and Porsche invented the VW, right? So Hitler did some good things. So that's what I was saying.
Did he come
VW are a great company. They're great cars.
No, I agree. I had around my midlife crisis, 37 to 42, somewhere in there. I had about 12 to 15 cars that were all VW engines and chassis that I put kit cars on top of, so you could drive any. You could be a Porsche, it could be a Mercedes Gazelle, it could be whatever you wanted it to be.
The VW Beetle is a class. That 1960s Beetle is a fucking classic. It's got a Porsche engine, and the engine's in the back, right?
Right.
It's fucking weird. It's such a cool car, and I like the Golf. Right, I had a Golf 10 years ago, and I'll probably get one again. I like the VW Golf. They hold their value. If you buy one, you sell it 5 years later. It doesn't lose a lot of money. They obviously efficient, being German. Things happen on time or whatever, and it's pistons, not people being shipped to death camps. So it's all good. It feels good. They're fast. You know, you get a 1.6 liter or whatever it is engine, and they're fucking quick. Those
and
cars.
they're good on gas mileage, and when you make kit cars out of them, fiberglass cars, they are super fast. Like I had an MGTD fiberglass body on one; it would go 120 miles an hour, easy. And
they move. The Germans know how to make engines.
Definitely.
For sure. It's Mercedes, VW, right? They can move. BMW, German as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Yeah, Christina says she grew up with Beatles. I would call them Exterminator. You can get an Exterminator; they'll get them out of the house for you.
I'm not even mad when they rebooted the Beetle about 20 years ago. They're okay, and it's like it's not the classic, but when they did the Mini and the Beetle, the reboots, the new Coopers and stuff, it's like they're pretty good upgrades to what they were. I know a lot of Mini drivers, a lot of girls that drive Minis. These bitches drive those things like rally cars. It's like, you know, because it's such a low center of gravity. With a Mini, you can hit corners, and I wouldn't feel safe.
Did you ever have to push start a Beetle? We used to push start.
My dad used to buy pieces of shit, so we would push start a Ford Cortina. Our Fords were different to yours, the Rangers, but I remember jump starting my brother's shitty cars, Mini, probably an old Mini from the 80s, Golfs, not Golfs, like Fords. Largely the days of jump starting a gun, because even a shit car is pretty reliable now, isn't it? They don't break down like they used to.
Right.
My
teenage years, you know, because most kids that their first car was a Beetle when I was a kid, and we spent a lot of time just push starting it. Oh, your car won't start. Oh, we'll push start it.
Italian Job. That's the classic Mini movie. And those fucking cars, you're not going to be able to jump down the steps with them like they did in that movie, but they're pretty fucking good cars. And the Coopers were like the Sport Edition. They're so low to the ground.
Right.
You can just handle better than a lot of stuff.
I had an Alfa Romeo Spider that was great, but
Alfa Romeo, underrated company. They made some good cars.
I almost killed myself several times in that car. Crashed into a bread truck.
But I guess Italy, it's Italian, isn't it, Alfa Romeo? So Fiat was obviously the shit rate, but Ferrari, Lamborghini, and then Alfa Romeo for the middle class. Italians are pretty good at making cars with personality. Porsche, right?
Yeah.
Porsche Italian? Aren't they?
Yeah. Well, go to your show, man. What are you talking to me for? You got a good show.
I got to get an Uber. Thanks for coming on and hanging out.
No problem. I got to go fix a fence.
Motherfuckers in the chat, Kelly, OGM, Christina, anyone that I've forgotten, I'm sorry. I think that might be most of you, although whatever. Have a great time. If you see me tweeting weird tweets later, it means I'm really drunk. I've had 6 beers doing this, so we'll see what happens for the next 7 hours. Gonna go and see Ruby J in 38 minutes. Look her up. I'll send you some links. Phenomenal voice. And apart from that, go fuck your mothers, I'd say.
Yeah, or somebody else's mother. I'm gonna fuck somebody else's mother tonight.
I heard she's a whore. All right, see you later, guys.
See you later.